disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Can I kiss you on the mouth?
No, I'm not cool with that.
Disappointed
I'm
in
sorry.
every one
I'm
of you.
sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate
Can I
animals.
kiss you on the mouth?
No, I'm not cool
I'm
with that.
disappointed in
I'm
every
sorry.
one of
I'm
you.
sorry.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
Gonna be alright, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
You just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it, asshole?
Don't be afraid. She's just an asshole.
What are you going to do about it, asshole? What are you going to do about it, asshole? Asshole, 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 asshole.
Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing podcast, broadcasting to you live from the true north. This is your friend Mr. BDA. I'm glad that everybody could be on board for this one. Now before we continue on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, remember Sunday, no swearing, alright? And I'll try to calm myself down here for no swearing. Sorry, fixing myself a sandwich. Sandwiches. Not supposed to be eating bread. Trying to cut out the bread this past for a couple of months. Anyway, listen guys, before we continue, oh man, we got a great show by the way. We're going to talk about the fantastic WBSS fights that we had last evening. We're going to talk about Deontay Wilder. We're not going to talk about Billy Joe Saunders because I didn't see that fight. But great nights of boxing last night. A little bit of everything for everybody. Knockouts, heavyweights, skills in the lower weight divisions, and everything in between. Now, if this is your first time on BDA, don't forget to subscribe and like. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter and on iTunes and Spreaker. Give us a favorable rating on Spreaker where you can download, and iTunes as well, where you can download the live episodes. Boy, oh boy. Don't forget to check out our panelist websites as well. We're going to put the links on the description. So like I said, fantastic show coming up. Don't go anywhere. And now that we got the business side of the way, let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shepherd of Sons, Apology Man, Official Boxing Scorecard, Box. I'm going Diego Bandido, Jaquan, Jaquan, Tommy Temper, Mighty Claire, many more, Azzy, Unrival Boxing Talk, and many more to come, I am sure. Thank you guys for being on. All right. So, we're going to be here about, I don't know, 2 hours maybe, because I can't do any more than that. I got stuff to do on a Sunday. And we're also going to open up the phone lines. I know every time I come on here, I say that we're going to open up the phone lines, and we never do. But I do want to hear people's reactions and hear you guys' views on everything that we had going on last night. last evening. First of all, there was, what's his name? Naoya Inoue, of course, and Taylor, who both advanced to the finals of their respective tournaments. And I'm trying to look. So what was it? I'm trying to look for the official decision here. Hold on a second. So, of course, spoilers for anybody that doesn't know it already. Naoya Inoue took out the very tough and competent Emmanuel Rodriguez, undefeated, by the way, and just butchered him in 2 rounds. And Josh Taylor, also undefeated, moved on to the final of the 140-pound bracket of the tournament by getting a unanimous decision, I believe. I'm trying to look for the decision here. Against a very tough and, again, undefeated BARANSHYK. See, this is what I like about this tournament. You had 2 undefeated guys in the different division tournaments, 4 undefeated fighters taking on each other, the best of the best fighting each other. You don't see that in any other organization. Golden Boy ain't doing this. Top Rank isn't doing this. The PBC isn't doing this. The Bella isn't doing this. Is why I'm a big fan of this WBSS and the Zone. I mean, come on. They're putting up the results. And somebody was saying in the chat room, and in, who was it, T Street Controversy, I think that's his name. He was saying that supposedly that the PBC was sold to a couple of white guys. And now it doesn't matter who it was sold to. All I care about that is if it's being sold to somebody competent who can run the organization the way it's supposed to, then that means we're going to get better fights. So you can see that boxing, when people say boxing is dead, you know they're not boxing fans really. Because they don't know what the fuck is going on. They don't know the big fights that us hardcore boxing talks love. And the WBSS last night was proof of that. Real proof of that. All right? Man, great fights. Great fights. And I'm stalling a little bit here because I'm trying to find out exactly what the decision was for Taylor and BARANSHYK. And can't seem to find the actual fucking results on boxing scene. Maybe somebody in the chat room can tell me. But, okay, with Naoya Inoue, I have to clarify a couple of things. Because my official prediction was that Inoue was going to win the decision. And, of course, by that, it meant that Rodriguez was going to go the whole 12 rounds. Didn't happen. And I've been scouring the internet, as I always do. And, man, people are saying, even the BBC in an article is saying that Naoya Inoue was scary. Scary. Which is apropos for a guy whose nickname is the Monster. Is he the Gennady Golovkin of the 118-pound division? Sure seems like it. Because let me tell you guys, Rodriguez was no joke. You saw him go in there and he was pushing Inoue back. He was doing... In hindsight, it was a stupid decision because he got caught. But it was also on paper, it was an interesting thing to do because Naoya Inoue is a guy that hasn't been challenged all that much. And Rodriguez, you saw him. He was catching Inoue with a couple of good right hands, a couple of jabs too. He was attacking him from all angles. It was an interesting performance from Rodriguez. And when the first round, I was like, all right, now we got the fight that I've always wanted to see. Now we're going to see if Inoue can stand up to the heat and shoot some back. And guess what? He did. And even then, I've been hearing a couple of comments from people around the internet saying, oh, well, it's his power bailed him out. Well, yeah, it's like with Deontay Wilder too. If you can land those punches, you're not landing them because they're lucky shots. You're landing them because you're letting your hands go. You're creating your own luck. And that's the same thing with Inoue. And then, to top it all off, as if it couldn't be scary enough that he uncorked that left hook on poor Rodriguez and dropped him. And you could see Rodriguez, because Rodriguez had been caught with a couple of good shots in the first round, but he made that face, he scrunched his face together and said, let's go, bring it. He was ready for it. He was not ready for the left hook. You could tell in his face, that was like, holy shit, I prepared as well as I could, and I've never seen anything like this. I've never felt power like this. And then to top it all off, he gets dropped with body shots. I mean, that's impressive. I will say, though, his resume still does not stand up. I mean, I don't understand how Ring Magazine can have Inoue number 7 when his best wins are, what? Payano, McDonald, and McDonald, by the way, he was wagering. Carmona. Rodriguez, yes, it's a good win. You cannot take it away from him. But how about Josh Taylor, who just beat Baranchik and before that had beaten Postal and before that had kicked the crap out of Miguel Vasquez, who always gives trouble to everybody. And he's not even top 10 according to Ring Magazine. Anyway, I'll see what people... I want to hear what people have to say in the chat room. I want to hear what people have to say about that. As for Taylor versus Baranchik... Oh, okay, so by the way, so we're going to talk about that later on. Inoue is going to be facing Donaire now. A big dude who used to fight at 126 recently and now went back to 118. And now we're going to see whether Inoue can handle... Because Inoue punches hard with both hands. Donaire only really punches hard with the right hand. Really. I mean, his right hand ain't nothing bad, but he just doesn't really use it all that much. But we're going to see if he can stand up to that type of power. And also Baranchik, again, last night we had Taylor versus Baranchik. Man, what a great fight. Taylor brings it. Taylor brings it. He does not fuck around in there. He doesn't want to... Even, I was watching the Zone broadcast, and what about the left hook overhand says? Yeah, but that left hook, I'm talking... Anyway, we're going to talk more about the Inoue Donaire fight. But what I'm saying real quick here about Taylor Baranchik is, Taylor could have fought from the outside. Carl Frampton, who was doing the commentary for the Zone, he was saying that. He's saying, listen, I would love to see Taylor just fight from the outside, long range, not take some of the punishment that he's taken. But Taylor is an offensive fighter. He's very much like Errol Spence. It's interesting that we have two guys that are very similar, one weight class apart, Taylor and Spence. The only difference is Taylor is a little bit more jittery than Errol Spence. Errol Spence seems to be calmer in there and sets his feet more, whereas Taylor does he likes to hop in and out a little bit. But other than that, both guys are southpaws and they're power punchers. That's the thing about Taylor. He's a power puncher. He's not going in there to tap you with one shot and get out of the way. He wants to hurt you. And he's a body puncher too, which, you know, Mr. BDA, I love body punching. If you're a body puncher, I'm a fan of yours. And he tried to stop Baranchik. Let me tell you, a lot of these lower level guys are not going to be able to take Taylor's heat. He is a power puncher. Now, he's not a power puncher the way Inoue is at 118. Or at least maybe Inoue is not, because Inoue has never fought a guy like Postal or Baranchik before. But man, that Baranchik dude, he was coming forward, landing, throwing bombs. And he actually stunned Taylor a little bit there. But Taylor, I loved how he was countering with left hands to the body, or sometimes he would lead with straight lefts to the body, right down the middle, or sometimes he would counter with left uppercuts to the body. He would dig that right hook. He went to the body against a shorter, stronger guy. And that's what I like. He's taking risks. Fighting the best, taking risks. He hasn't fought outside of Scotland, though, from what I can see. But nevertheless, his resume is pretty good at this point. And now he's going to be fighting Regis Prograis, another fantastic fight. Let me tell you something, that is going to be quite a doozy. If they hold both finals on the same night, it's going to be one of the best nights of boxing. Hold on a second. I'm going to start out sending the invites little by little. I forgot to send it to Stu, who most people don't know, but Stu is only on, and by the way, Stu is only on Skype, so I have to go on Skype all the time to send him the invite. But we're going to be switching to Skype now for the live streams, for the panelists. Because Hangouts, people can't hear me pretty well, and there's a little bit of distortion sometimes. So we're going to try Skype. So all the panelists out there, if you're listening, download your Skype application. If you don't have it already, create an account, because we're going to be switching to Skype instead of Hangouts. I'm done with Hangouts for the moment. I want to try something else. And Bucho concurs with me. We talked about this in a meeting, the BDA meeting with the Board of Advisors. Well, hold on a second. We just got Stu on the line, and you know what that means.
I wasn't bad, though.
I told you what's going to happen, Price. I told you he's going to be sleeping. I told you the ambulance is going to come. The oxygen mask is going to come out. I told you he's going to miss the main event. I told you all them things were going to happen.
All right.
What's happening, BDA?
Hello, Stu. Good to have you on board.
Yeah, good to be here, man.
All right, now listen. I'm going to start letting in. I'm starting to send some invites, little by little now, to the usual panelists, because I don't want it to get too crowded right now. But okay, so what do you
Yeah.
think we should talk about? What do you think we should talk about? Do we talk about because man, a lot of great fights last night.
Yeah, great night of boxing. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and there's a lot to talk about. Plenty to talk about. So it should be a good show tonight.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what should we start? Because I get a feeling people love to talk about Deontay Wilder because he's a very
Yeah, I mean that's the title. So I suppose we should start with that. I mean,
but that's the thing.
that, yeah. I mean, what do we learn about Deontay Wilder that we didn't already know? He's a destructive puncher, and the funny thing is, if you go back and watch the punch that knocked out Brazil, um, Brazil threw some lazy jab. I think it was a jab or a left hook or something like it. It was just a lazy shot, and then just dropped his hands, and it was like hanging near his waist. And as he threw it, so as he's dropping his hands, he's closed his eyes, and and then Wilder lands. I mean, he didn't see the shot for a start. Did you see Dominic Brazil trying to catch up to Wilder, like close the distance?
Yeah,
I mean, it was horrible to watch. I mean, the footwork was dreadful, very slow, and robotic. I just never fancied Dominic Brazil to do anything in this fight. I thought his toughness might make him last a little bit longer than he did. I wasn't expecting him to get sparked in a round, but when you see the mistake he made, I mean, he just throws a lazy left hand, drops his hand, closes his eyes, and that's all she wrote. And then he wonders why he's sleeping on the canvas. I mean, it was just a poor, well, I don't even know if I can call it a poor performance because it wasn't long enough. But he did all the wrong things against someone like Wilder. But let's not pretend here. Fucking Dominic Brazil throws this horrible shot in desperation. There was no venom or technique behind it. Yeah, it clips Wilder, and Wilder does the Sammy Davis Jr. dance. So that's got to be alarming as it is. You know, I keep hearing about this destructive. Did you see Wilder? He kills AJ because he did this a lot quicker than what AJ did to fights. Boxers don't work like that because I can go back and say, well, Joshua did a far better job on Eric Molina than Wilder did. Styles
right.
make fights. So just because Wilder, well, that is Wilder's job to go in there and throw the bombs. That's all he can do. But when he does land, you know what happens. And Dominic Brazil, his defense is atrocious. Too slow, too robotic, never going to be first to the punch. But it's just alarming the way he threw that crappy shot, really, with nothing behind it. It clips Wilder, and Wilder's doing a dance.
Exactly.
So,
it's listen.
we have to calm down a little bit here. What did we learn that we didn't already know about Wilder? That he's very dodgy, vulnerable around the chin, but when he lands first, it's night.
Yeah,
And
listen, it's time to be real, man. Listen, we didn't see anything that we didn't already expect. We knew Wilder, when he touches you, he's got the hardest right hand in the world right now. He touches you with that, you're going down. But he was expected to do it. Now you got Wilder fans going crazy, and you got the Joshua fans saying, oh, well, he just knocked out a bum. Well, listen, until they actually fight each other, I don't even want to talk about this fight. Bucho is the one that made the thumbnail. He's the one that does the photoshops for the YouTube things. And he told me, listen, I'm going to do one about Wilder, and I'm going to put Wilder in the title because I want to attract a lot of views for this one because people want to talk about it. But I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm done with
No,
this.
because talk about what? Talk about
Exactly.
30 seconds of action. I mean, let's be real. When Wilder landed, then Brazil was on the back foot and looking hurt straight away. It just looked slow and horrible. I just thought, you know what? This fucking fight, man. Why don't they even stay up for this fucking shit? Do you know what I mean? It was a bum fight. But I like Dominic Brazil as a man, but he's just useless as a boxer. Let's keep it real. I mean, and Anthony Joshua he pounded that guy. For his, I don't know if it was 7 or 8 rounds. I can't remember. It was so long ago, but he pounded Brazil. But I don't think Joshua has that concussive power that Wilder has. Nobody has. But but styles make fights. Let's not go down the road. Joshua loses now because he whooped Brazil's ass in 8 rounds and Wilder did it in 1. So boxing don't work like that.
Right. And by the way, I was kidding about Bucho telling me that we came up with a decision, but now that I was about putting the Wilder there, but then I started thinking, because I started talking about the Inoue and BARANSHYK and all those guys, and I said those were the fights that I was most looking forward to for this Saturday. So listen, we got precise here. I'm gonna, if he wants to give us his thoughts on Wilder, and then I want to move on, man, because I don't want to talk about Wilder Joshua until those guys get in the ring with each other. I'm really not interested in their fights.
Dependent upon how you interpret the data.
What's up with all the transvestites in Hollywood, though?
Because if you're a postmodernist and you don't have any standards, you're always going to keep moving the goalpost, and you're never going to stick to your own standards because you don't have any standards.
That's right. All right. Precise, are you there?
What's up?
Oh, someone's happy. Hey, thanks for being on, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Always. Always. I don't even know. Do you want to give us your 2 cents on this so we can move on? Or do you want to... You tell
I'll
us.
give you 2 cents and then we can move on.
Or 1 cent.
Just an amazing, wonderful fight last night. I don't want to insult these two heavyweight warriors by comparing them to Hagler and Hearns, but the way they went back and forth exchanging those rabbit punches and slaps in the first round, I mean, it was...
I knew this was going somewhere. You know?
Oh man, Brazil. Look, if you watch the fight with Joshua, like I'm not trying to overhype Brazil, but he was on his toes. He was in and out. He was changing angles. He was pivoting out of the pocket. I mean, he fought at a perfect distance this fight for Deontay Wilder. He just stood at the end of Deontay Wilder's punches. He walked in with his hands down. I mean, I'm not going to get into any conspiracy theories. I'm going to give Wilder credit. I think he punked him, like you said, BDA. And I think Brazil was just shook, and he felt like an idiot. And that's all I got to say about all that. Beautiful, beautiful right hand by Deontay Wilder. Everything he did prior to that right hand or after it was just whatever. But that right hand in and of itself, that's how you throw a beautiful, picture-perfect overhand right.
Yeah, the technique of it was very nice, but let's not, let's not forget that the way he telegraphed it, he pulled it back like it was a fucking bow and arrow that he was using. I mean, it was just so predictable to see coming. But because Brazil had his eyes fucking closed, he didn't see it. I mean, it's just amateur stuff from Dominic Brazil. And like I said, that right hand's fucking, it's a weapon. But like Fury has proved, you can get out the way of it if you can see it coming, and you've got the skills to get out the way. Brazil hasn't. He's too slow, and when you get a guy that's slow, robotic, no footwork, and closes his eyes when he throws a shot, there's only going to be one winner when he's fighting Deontay Wilder. So.
Listen, I was talking about when I said that about Brazil being punked. I was saying that half kidding. The real problem wasn't his mentality. The real problem is he's just a sloppy fighter. He doesn't have any defense. He keeps his hands down. He gets away. He's been able to make a career out of being 255 pounds and 6'5" or 6'6". So I don't know how tall the guy is. That's really it.
But BDA, it's true. But I made a point after this fight to go rewatch Brazil's fight with AJ and a couple other fights more recently, and you can't find Brazil leading with sloppy, lazy, slow left hooks. I mean, he just came out leading with without setting it up, without feigning, without probing with the jab. He was just opening himself right up. I mean, that's a perfect opportunity for a right-hand puncher. I mean, he dropped his, it was just nonsense what he was doing. He was just saying, here, hit me. I'm at a perfect distance for you. And here, I'm going to drop my left hand so you can drop the right on me. It's like, what the fuck was he doing? It was just insane.
In straight lines as well, with his hands down.
Yeah, and people will say Joshua took longer to knock him out. Yeah, because Dominic Brazil was a lot more responsible in that fight. And whether that's down to the fact that, he was just scared of Wilder, or they gave him an extra little handout to fight that way, it ultimately doesn't matter. It wasn't the same guy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the same fighter.
Let's be real. Dominic Brazil was shook to his boots, man. The guy was shook from the day the fight was made. He's a lovely guy, Dominic Brazil, a real nice guy, but he just doesn't have it in him to be a true fighter. He's not a true. He's another has-been American athlete, if you get what I'm saying. He probably played basketball. He probably played something else.
He was a football player.
Footballer. There you go. A fouled athlete from another sport, and it shows.
I agree. I agree with all of that, but I'm still saying that he's better than what we saw last night. You know what I mean? I still think he can do better than that. Whatever the reason for that was, it's all speculation. But he looked like a bum in that ring, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I don't know what else there is to say. I sent invites to a couple of other panelists, so I don't want to talk about Deontay Wilder too much because we can always talk about Wilder versus Joshua on another show. We can always it always goes back to that, right? So we're not gonna get another chance to talk about Inoue and Taylor and Baranchik and Rodriguez.
Exactly.
So when everybody comes in here, all the people that I've sent the invites to, we'll start talking about. Because I don't want to. Here's the thing I want to try to do with the show now is get everybody together and then we start talking. Because I don't want to talk about a fight and then 50 minutes later somebody else drops in and he's like, "Hey, let me tell you my take on this fight." Like, really? 50 minutes later? Yeah, fucks. So, by the way, just because I know nobody's going to want to talk about this afterwards, but did anybody see the Gary Russell Jr. fight?
I was just gonna bring it up, BDA.
Nope.
All right, Johnny boy, you saw the fight?
No.
No.
I had my girlfriend round, and you know when you're watching the boxing, you need that little spare bit of time with your missus. And when Gary Russell Jr. comes on, you got to use that time, ain't you? Another bum ass fight from very very talented guy, and I think he troubles anyone in that division. But it's time. His career needs to move along now. I'm getting bored of hearing Gary Russell Jr. name against some bum.
Yeah. I know. I heard you, BDA. You don't want to talk about this shit forever. The whole card was atrocious. Brazil's a fucking chump. Wilder came into the ring looking like Optimus Prime off the Transformer cartoon when I was 6. Yeah. And look, man, Wilder's a Mama Luke. He didn't teach us nothing new. And but as far as Gary Russell goes, yeah, I don't want to talk about this shit either, BD. Yeah, I'm with you guys. But as far as Gary Russell Jr. goes, I agree with Stu. He needs to get in there and fight some people. But at least he's outspoken and banging on the drum about, look, man, I want to fight Santa Cruz. I want to fight Tank Davis. Heyman, give me the fucking fights, or I'm gonna keep being inactive like I've been being. At least he's outspoken about how he wants to.
But sometimes, Johnny, you're not going to win by doing that. The best way to get them fights is by beating people in style, and then the fans get on board and they demand it. And once the fans demand it, then there's nowhere for Tank and Santa Cruz to go. So that's how he's got to do it. I mean, you can't beat up Kiko Martinez and then it just demand fight.
Yeah, but I'd
love to see that fight.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but who else is he going to fight? Valdez and Warrington ain't with PBC. It's either Santa Cruz or Tank. So he's just like, make the fucking fight happen, Al.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I want to see the fight as well. Yeah. But Gary Russell Jr. He needs to start putting himself in a position where people are calling for this fight.
Yeah, no
one's calling.
You're right. You're right. You're right, Stu. All I'm saying is I can't fault Gary Russell for being outspoken, say, I want this guy. I can't get mad at him for that. You know what I'm saying? But I know what you're saying, too.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, listen, we got Apology Man on the line. Let's introduce him. Hold on a second. Where's Apology Man's intro? Can't I find...
Speak of the devil, and it shall appear.
She just wanted the drama and you two to fight over her. That's what women do.
Your punishment must be more severe.
All of you.
Bitches are stupid, I treat them like shit. That's how you get one to eat a dick. Never be sweet to a bitch.
Don't get fooled when they tell you that the crime rate is down in New York. Every time I watch the local news, they're always talking about, well, there was a stabbing here, there was a stabbing there, there was a shooting there, but the crime is down.
All right. We got a donation from Sir Lopez George. Shout out to Sir Lopez George, and he says, "Hello, dudes, sub dudes. Wilder style. If it works, it works." That's a good point. Listen, the guy lands that right hand. He lands that right hand. It's not his fault. It's landing. You know it. I mean, he's making it happen. He's icing people, and we're gonna talk about that in another episode. We're gonna do a special Joshua Wilder episode later on. So we got Apology Man and Recognize. Guys, are you there?
Yes, we are.
Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good to have you on board.
Good.
New York.
Good. Good evening. Weekends or fights. We had one stinker, but apart from that, it's good.
We had a lot of great fights. And now that we got enough people here on the panel, let's get right down to it. Let's talk about Inoue, because I was looking forward to this fight.
Hold on, BDA, real quick. Can I just make a comment about the Wilder fight?
You shut up. You shut your fucking
okay.
I mean, I'm only kidding with you. I'm only kidding with you. We're having a party. I mean, I just came home. I haven't seen you.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you hurt my feelings, forget.
Yeah, you was a little bit out of line, BDA.
Yeah, you
were out of line.
Yeah.
What?
No. You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order yourself.
Billy,
Just a little bit out of line.
Billy, the drinks are on the house.
Real quick about that fight. Does anyone know his weight? Because he looked even fatter than usual. Like he didn't look like he trained for this fight. No, Brazil. He looked even fatter than usual.
256, I read, but
okay, because he looks light in his other fights and had more movements, more on his toes. But in this fight, he looked flat. So
I'll tell you what, mate, if there's ever a new Wizard of Oz movie out, he's got to play the role. The Tin Man's his role, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, at least the Tin Man was kind of slim. He had fucking like fat all over the place.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because Tin Man had a bit of pace as well, especially when they was running over that poppy field. He's got a bit of pace there. So yeah, I mean, it's just a dreadful performance from Dominic Breazeale. Yeah, but it was so cringe when I went on the internet. And all these fanboys telling me how great Wilder was. But
forget
it's the same Wilder that we've always known. He's not improved. It's the same Wilder.
I like him at 225. Hey, Stu, I like him at 225, man.
Yeah, he's a lot stronger. Definitely. And it's concussive punching, man. So I wouldn't want to be on the end of one of his shots, but Fury has proved that you can avoid them. Do you know what I mean? You can avoid these shots. So obviously got caught at the end, but that was a fatigue and sloppiness. But he can be, I don't think Joshua's going to walk forward with his hands down in straight lines, closing his eyes, throwing sloppy, lazy left hands. I just don't think he's going to do that. So you can't judge that fight.
Yeah,
and what's going to happen.
He'll pay against harder hitters and guys that, fucking punch with some meaning. You saw when he got hit, right? When that little exchange, he kind of backed up.
Yeah.
Did the little stinky dance, like, all right, man, let me eat this shit up. But somebody else do that, like AJ, it might hurt a little different.
Go back and watch that shot, recognise, right? Breazeale threw it out of desperation. It was a get-off-me punch. It had nothing on it. There was no technique, no venom. And it hits Wilder, barely touched him. So it was like candy floss scraping his fucking hair or something, right? It barely touched him. And the next second, Wilder's doing the Sammy Davis Jr., isn't he?
Yeah. It's just that, look. I heard you guys talking about this kid looking even slower and like feeding right into Wilder's punching range, and it's true. He was. I mean, the thing about Wilder though, he's so fucking fast. The way that 1-2, that simple 1-2. I feel like that's all. If that's all he knows how to do, I would tell him then just do that. Like that would be my training method. Just do that shit.
All right, now hold on a second. Hold on a second.
He pulled that right hand. Sorry,
guys.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I just want to say we're not. I don't want to talk. I told you we're not gonna. We're gonna talk about it in a special episode because we got a lot of ammunition for that, and I don't want to waste it today. We're already halfway in. I mean, halfway. We're already half an hour into the show. We haven't even touched upon Inoue. So
you're the man, BDA. You're right.
All right, listen. Let's talk about Inoue because I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave for this one. I'm sorry, I can't take it.
This guy,
can I start?
This guy's as devastating as Wilder, isn't he? When it comes
to
punching.
Go ahead, apology, bro.
Yeah. Real quick, it's like I don't know how to describe it, but I was surprised at how the fight played out. I was impressed with Rodriguez coming out and bringing it to Inoue. The problem was when he brought it, but he just stood there and took it back. He didn't move his feet. He didn't wasn't elusive enough. And Inoue just eventually broke him down. And another thing, Inoue was getting caught. Like his defense seemed even more open than before. Like Rodriguez will throw like left hooks, right hand, and Inoue will get caught in the middle throwing his own combinations. So I'm even more confident now Daenerys beats him or knocks him out.
Oh, I don't know about that. After that, how can you be confident Donaire wins that after seeing that?
Stu, it was an impressive performance, but go watch it again. New was getting caught with punches he
Yeah,
shouldn't have.
but that's what
And
happens
then,
when you load up on your shots and you're willing to work. You're going to get hit, bro. That's what happens.
exactly, but Daenerys way faster than Rodriguez and way more powerful, and it only takes one. That's why I
The thing
was
is,
even more confident now.
Daenerys got to keep that fight at a long distance and keep. But he doesn't fight that way. He sits in the pocket, trading left hooks. And I think if you're going to have a hook battle with Inoue, then it's not going to end well for you. Let's just say
You're gonna
that.
go to sleep.
I disagree. I thought Rodriguez's strategy was good. He just didn't.
No,
He just stood there after
it was
he
poor.
punched.
It was
I
a
have to
poor
disagree with
strategy.
that. You pushed him back.
All right, hold on. Let's
poor,
do
bro.
respond.
Yeah, go
Basically,
ahead.
he started off very well, tucked up behind the jab, using the straight punches, the jab and the straight right hand, and he was catching Inoue, and he was looking quite good pushing Inoue back, and then Inoue was out of range, missing. But then he started to go hooking with the hooker. Let's just say he got into Inoue's range and started hooking. I think what it was, I think he got hit with a shot by Inoue and thought, this guy don't hit as hard as everyone's telling me. I think it was a false security, shall we say. And then he started getting a bit closer, taking his mind off the game that he should have stuck to, which was took up behind the jab and the guard, just use the straight punches and keep at distance because you can't get into range with this guy. But no, he went off the game, started hooking with a hooker. He got hurt badly and shook his head straight away, and I knew the fight was over. There was no point in getting up. He didn't want to get up. So he was a terrible game plan. He started well for about 30 seconds and he was doing the better work with the straight punches. I knew he was
Yeah,
getting tagged up, like you said. But then he went off his
that's what I
game.
meant.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. He was starting off good. I was like, whoa! I was surprised. He brought the fight, but then he just stood in the pocket and got smashed.
Right, it's interesting. Apology makes a good point because when I was watching the fight live, I mean, I didn't watch it live. Sorry, I had to rewatch it a couple of minutes afterwards. But when I was watching the fight, I was thinking, all right, this is what Rodriguez it has to do. He has to take the fight to Inoue because, like I said before the fight, Rodriguez is a very good fighter. Undefeated, he had momentum on his side, and he was going in there with confidence. And he was saying, "You know what? I'm gonna push you back." So, in a sense, it was a smart strategy to try to get Inoue out of his game plan. That being said, in hindsight, like Stu said, you never hook with a hooker, and you saw Rodriguez should have stayed tight if he was gonna come forward. He made the same mistake that Gary O'Sullivan did against Lemieux. It was, again, a similar strategy, push the puncher back. But then he started hooking with the guy, and that's when the trouble started. Inoue, I don't know if he won the first round. I'm curious to hear what you guys thought about the first round. Because apologies, right, he was getting hit.
Yeah. Here, I'll give you my 2 cents on the Inoue fight real quick. Bro, the kid's a bantamweight Gennady Golovkin, like you say, bro. Dude's a real deal. And guess what? Crawford just got booted out of my top 5 pound for pound, and I'm putting that little bastard in there.
Now wait a minute.
But nah, man, that kid can fight. That kid can fight. Or let me say this: if he beats Donaire and wins the series, he's in the top 5. But he fucking, bro. He's a strong little dude, bro. He knocks people's face off.
Mm-hmm.
Big if.
Yeah, I know it's a big if, but I'm saying, and plus, that's the other thing I was gonna say. What makes it interesting to me, I think we were talking about this a few shows ago, but now that Donaire is like more towards his natural weight again, and he's got a whole bunch of more experience under his belt, and he's 10, and always 10 years younger. That's what really makes that shit interesting to me. So, but
I mean,
what was impressive was the body shots for me, man. Inoue's body shots.
Yeah,
fucking kid is good, man. He's a good fighter. I think Rodriguez, like you said, apology. You said that he had the right game plan. He was pushing him back a bit, fighting him, coming forward. But I think because the guy has power, when a guy has power, man, he makes you think faster. And I thought he set Rodriguez up to make him hook with him, like Stu was saying, never hook with a hooker. And I saw some of that. You know, like the fight was quick. It was 2 rounds, right? It was quick, but I thought that he set that up and he took advantage of it. He beat the shit out of him in that second round. Like that was an ass whipping.
Yeah, it was.
And that was impressive. That was impressive. I mean, look, I don't follow that weight class that much. I've been told Rodriguez is pretty good. I follow Rodriguez in terms of like watching some highlight fights, and I think he's pretty good. But he looked like the bigger man in the ring than INOUE. INOUE beat the fuck out of him. That's nothing I can say.
You know,
Rodriguez.
Go ahead, BDA. Go ahead.
Well, just real quick. Don't forget your point. Johnny Boy mentioned the point about INOUE's power, comparing him to Triple G. Right now, that power reminds me of early Triple G when he was just rampaging through the divisions. Now we want to see if his boxing skills are up to par. But I guess maybe Donaire is going to make us see that. So that's all I want to say. Go ahead, Precise, please.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to have to agree and disagree with all of you guys, I guess. Anyway, Rodriguez thought he was the bigger guy, the stronger guy, the more powerful guy. I'll give him bigger. You know what I mean? I probably would have said he has to take the fight to him prior to the fight, but in hindsight, terrible strategy. I mean, he started exchanging with a stronger guy, bigger puncher. He looked smaller, so hey, take it to him. He's a little guy coming up in weight. Bad idea. What I thought INOUE did really well, and I agree, his defense is leaky, but so what if he could hit you better and first, right? But I really appreciated how when Rodriguez tried to close the distance, he kind of bent his knees, got under him, nudged him, created room for that left hook, and then dropped that left hook like it was like a overhand left hook. I don't know what to call it, but when you pick your elbow up and you drive that hook down, I mean, caught him cold.
Yeah, Triple G does that as well.
Yeah, caught him cold, you know what I mean? So if I'm Rodriguez and I'm in there with this monster, as they say, I want to take my time. I don't want to get in there and bang with him early. I thought it was a stupid strategy, to be honest with you, because he showed he had the skills to hit him with some good shots. But, is that INOUE just being cold too? Is that INOUE just kind of letting him in just to be like, hey, here, you can hit me. Let's exchange. There have been many fighters who will, like we've speculated many times about Triple G, he lets other guys hit him, so to speak, or he makes himself a little vulnerable so that he could exchange with them, right? Pacquiao's done it.
He lures them in, Precise.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
So continue.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Real quick, do you think he does that as well to goad other opponents in the future to hit him or fight with him?
I don't want to talk about Donaire right now because I'm going to let INOUE, and he has some of the most crazy fanboys I've ever seen. So I'm gonna let them have their fun today. I'm gonna give INOUE props. I'm gonna let it go. I'll say this much: INOUE has improved tremendously. There's a reason why they, and let me just make this point real quick about not having INOUE on the pound for pound list previously, because his team and they didn't think he was ready for the pound for pound slot. That's why he avoided Gonzalez when he was pound for pound. That's why he avoided Estrada, who was considered as a pound for pound top fighter at that time. And even someone like Doñiñetes, who was in the conversation. He skipped over those guys because he wasn't ready for pound, okay? Now they finally developed him. They have confidence in him. He's grown, matured. He's improved tremendously as a fighter. He is in a more natural weight class for him. Now they're ready to test him, see how good he is. We'll find out if he's a pound for pound fighter in this series. I think it's No, I think it's perfectly fine if you want to have him there, but I think it's also perfectly fine to still be skeptical. However, it was a tremendous performance. He beat a good guy. Okay, he fought stupidly, but it is what it is, right? I'm not gonna blame INOUE for that. So it was a great performance. He shows skill. She shows improvement. He and Donaire, that's 50-50 for me. Bring it on. Go ahead.
Yeah, Precise. I was just gonna say that's I totally forgot about that. He did jump over that weight class with Estrada and all them guys. I totally forgot about that, dog. That's right. And real quick, BDA, can you put the chat up on the screen, bro? If you don't mind, if you could.
Yeah. I'll get on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, listen, you know what? While I'm doing that, I want to say to precise this point. I think that eventually, if the fight would have gone longer, I think right now it's safe to say that Inoue would have caught up to him eventually, because he just has that type of power. It's there. Like I was saying, the skills, however, when Golovkin fought another puncher in Curtis Stevens or David Lemieux, he showed us that he could box long range. Now, why am I bringing up Golovkin? Because a lot of people are comparing Inoue to Golovkin. I did so in the beginning of this broadcast. So now we got to see how he handles, because Rodriguez had the skills. We talked about that on a couple of episodes ago, that Rodriguez had the skills, but it was just a question of whether he had the power and the ability to withstand that power. That question's been answered. Now let's see whether Inoue can handle Donaire's power, that left hook. That being said, Donaire can be outboxed. He can be outboxed. So if Inoue can show us that he can outbox Donaire the way Magdaleno did, the way Nicholas Walters was able to outjab Donaire, the way Rigondeaux did it, then we're gonna see a little something. Oh.
I think Inoue, because he throws his punches from funny angles sometimes, and I think that's why he knocks a lot of people out. They just don't see the shots coming. And I was really impressed with him yesterday. Yes, he got tagged. Of course he did. He's in there with a world-class fighter in the semis of a tournament. You don't. Michael Phelps don't go in a race without getting wet, sort of thing, does he? So these things are gonna. I thought he was impressive, and with the Golovkin comparison, I think Golovkin's technically better with his punches.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I think Inoue has more power. I think pound for pound, Inoue's a bigger hit than Golovkin. I'm going to say that now. I think he is, because when Inoue hits people, Golovkin wears you down. He never really KOs you on the canvas. He'll just wear you down, beat you up, and make you quit or take the count, sort of thing. Where Inoue just he fucking starches you, doesn't he? So it's hard. It's a hard one because they both hit very hard. So
if I can
say probably Inoue.
If I can make a counterpoint to that, the question is, listen, because Ray in the chat is saying we're haters. Listen, I'm not hating Inoue. He's a guy that I want to watch because he brings excitement to the ring. But I'm just saying, does he belong in the top 10 pound for pound the way Ring Magazine is saying? Now, he's saying that we're nitpicking, that he has bad defense. Well, listen, he was getting tagged by Rodriguez. And the thing is, when Golovkin was fighting guys like... what was the name of that African dude that he fought in between? It wasn't
Adam.
HBO. Yeah, Adamu.
Adam.
Well, whatever his name was. Yeah, he knocked him out that way with one shot. So he took out also Macklin with a body shot. So it's true that he wore guys down, but he was wearing guys, the top 10 middleweights down. Inoue's only really fought one top bantamweight right now. I mean, McDonald. Well, actually, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking about pound for pound, you have to nitpick to get the best of the best.
Exactly.
I agree with that apology. That's right.
Well said.
When you're being compared as a top 10, top 5, you kind of nitpick a little bit, and obviously you consider the other guys too. You do the same thing. But
is it me? Sorry, bro.
No,
is it me? But that every single panelist that has spoken about Inoue so far said that he is a very good fighter. Gave him lots of props, said that he was impressed. But apparently, because not all of us have him on the top 5 pound for pound list, we're not sucking his dick hard enough, are we?
Right.
He's not on my pound for pound list either.
No, I mean he's on the cusp of that. Like, let him win this tournament. Like, look, the Rodriguez kid, the Emmanuel Rodriguez kid, that was a good win. And look, I'll admit, I don't really follow this. I'm not a hardcore bantamweight, super flyweight kind of fan. But look, I could recognize when somebody has a gift, you're really talented. But beat Nonito Donaire, win this tournament, then we're talking. It's like, what's wrong with that?
Because if you're going to put, Johnny, quickly, if you're going to put Inoue on there, then you've got to put Josh Taylor on there as well, because I think he's got better wins than Inoue.
Exactly.
Why not Josh Taylor?
But look, we have to fucking. Go ahead, Pete.
Sorry.
Go on,
Look,
Pete.
if he doesn't beat Donaire, right, and some of us think Donaire wins, some of us think it's 50-50, some of us are picking Inoue, right? Like, if he doesn't beat Donaire, that's a pound for pound fighter. You know what I'm saying? So all these people that are saying he's top pound for pound, they're banking that he beats Donaire, and I beg to differ. I don't think if he does. So that's basically going to be the test for us. If he does, then yeah, he is a pound for pound. And only when he beats him, he's pound for pound. But to say automatically he's pound for pound and then have him lose to someone like Donaire, who is past his prime, let's keep it real. Well, how fucking wrong were you all this time, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point, bro. Yeah, like I say, I think let me take that back a little bit. I'll say, like I say, if he, I don't have a top 10. Like I say, I just got 6, 7, 8 guys that I think are the best fighters. But if he wins the tournament, then he's in the discussion.
Exactly. Listen,
look, boxing's a tricky sport, man. It's a very tricky sport. I'm sorry, BDA. You want to say something? Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, and then I'll go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it was just, I'm saying it's a tricky sport. Like, look at Wilder. What separates Wilder from the heavyweight division? It's not his fucking talent. He's got tremendous power. Okay, it's just this tremendous power that we believe that it can do damage to well, we seen him fight Fury. We seen him drop him. Fury gets back up and pretty much controls the fight. You know, we're thinking that if he fights AJ, if he touches AJ, and I believe that too. He touches AJ, AJ's going to be in some shit. Okay, and I definitely believe that. But we're not banking on his wonderful talented boxing ability, his technical stance, and all that. We're not banking on that, right? So the same thing with Inoue. Like, Inoue has talent, all right. I'm not saying he's Wilder in the sense of the way he boxes, but he has talent. A lot of that seems like power. He's young, okay. You got Estrada and Estrada. I would put Estrada ahead of him. Yeah, I would put Estrada ahead of him right now. But what Inoue is like, you know, he's still, 18 fights, 17 fights in. You know, his resume is not that freaking deep. Okay, Emmanuel Rodriguez, from everything I've seen from him and I've heard, a top fighter. Okay, he dispatches this dude in 2 rounds. Let's see him continue before we put him in that top 5, top 10 pound for pound range. Let's see if he can take care of Nonito Donaire, who, yes, looks strong at this weight class, but is, you know, has been beaten, has been in the game for a while, a little long in his career where he's not quite in his prime anymore.
Yeah. See, recognize. Yeah. See, I agree with that, bro. Let's just see what happens with Donaire before we start shooting our load off about Inoue. I take that back what I said in the beginning. But
dude,
yeah,
it's whatever, man. It's your pound for pound. I'm not gonna criticize that, but like, don't. And I'm not saying you did this at all, but there's no need to criticize people who disagree. It's just an opinion. And
yeah, for sure.
As far as Rodriguez goes, like, who the fuck did he beat? Okay, talented guy. He passes the eye test, and then he gets in the ring with Inoue, and he does fucking worse than Payano did. So how good is he? You know what I'm saying?
All right, Ray, if Donaire didn't beat anybody, then why are you saying, like, look, Ray just said Donaire didn't beat anyone to get to the final. He got lucky. Okay, so then what you're saying is basically this fight is pointless. It's not going to do anything for him in the pound for pound list. Like, which one is it?
No, but I think with the pound for pound list, sometimes you have to use the eye test as well. You know, just use your brain. You just use your brain, use your eyes. You can use. You see talent. Inoue, talent-wise, is definitely a pound-for-pound fighter. But when you have to put all categories in, I just think I think if we start putting Inoue in for the guys he's beat, then there's going to be arguments, like I said, for people like Taylor and other people that have probably got better wins than him. So I think it's a full package, and it's just an opinion, Johnny. But I respect him, man. There's no problem with you having him at number 5. He's a monster.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like, you know, 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there, I'd probably have him if I was to write it down right now.
I mean, all right, by the way, sorry, apologies. Let me just read Revolucion, who made a donation through the super chat. Shout out to Revolucion. Thank you very much. And he says, pound for pound, who do you have, Estrada or Inoue? And yeah, I'm going to send you the invite in a couple of minutes if nobody else shows up, because I'm waiting for Bucho to show up. And I don't want to, I'm saving the spots for some of the other regulars. So sorry, yeah, apology, go ahead.
Yeah, and just like Book said, Donaire beat Burnett, another undefeated guy who's tricky, just like Rodriguez is. So you could equate that win to the same as the Rodriguez win.
But wait, he
Donaire
beat him?
did beat somebody to get here.
Yeah, but he didn't really beat him. I mean, come on.
I mean, but he still won. Like, and it was like a back and forth fight up until that point.
The
Like,
guy quit, right?
Ryan Burnett, yeah, Ryan Burnett didn't dominate and then got injured. Like, Donaire was giving it to him, and Burnett was like nicking like 1 or 2 rounds.
Right. Well, listen, Ray G in the chat room is saying he deserves to be top 10 pound for pound. Well, that's your opinion, and I gotta say it's not a solid opinion because Taylor has beaten Postal and now Baranshych, and Baranshych was a strong undefeated fighter, and Taylor beat him
And let's
up.
be real, it's not just that BDA. I mean, he stopped the Mexican. What's his name? Vasquez.
Vasquez, yeah.
Exactly.
No one stops Vasquez. O'Hara Davis was tipped to be a prospect. All right, he beat the brakes off O'Hara Davis, but O'Hara Davis hasn't lost since, I don't think. So I know he's not a great win, but he's got some real decent. Postal is a good win. Do you know what I mean? There's
Taylor,
for his list, he's
Taylor's a
had
better
what, 13
record.
fights. Well, how many fights has he had? How many fights has he had? Apology.
14, I think. I think it's just
Exactly.
14.
And now let's go back and see who INOUE was fighting after 14 fights. So we can all be picky here, you know.
Exactly. And by the way, before we continue, we got Pete on the line. Pete, are you there? Calling Pete? No, I think
Give me a minute, BDA.
he's
Can you hear
still.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, who's talking shit about INOUE, man? Fucking
Everybody. We're not talking.
TBE.
No, well, listen, we're not talking
How
shit.
dare
We're
you.
we're not talking shit. We're just being realistic here. We don't think he deserves to be top 10 pound for pound with all that. Listen, boxing right now is
Top
red
10.
hot.
Somebody's cutting off.
I don't know who. I hope it's not me. Listen, INOUE deserves to be one of the top fighters. Of course, he has the ability. But right now, boxing is red hot. You have a bunch of killers right now that deserve and have earned their place in the top 10 pound for pound list. And I don't think INOUE has done that yet.
No, I agree. I'm joking around. But, yeah, he's got power. It's tough. I mean, pound for pound's tricky anyway, you know? I don't know how you guys even think about it, but it's hard when these guys are under 100, 120 pounds, you know, these real super light guys. I try to think of them all as 160 pounds, you know, cruiserweight at 100, someone the same style and the same speed fighting down at 160 or as high as 160, and it's hard to imagine. These guys just throw, you know what I mean? They're throwing so fucking fast. There's hardly any feeling out. There's no changing their speed. I mean, they just come out and throw. This kid last night, Rodriguez, you know, he got too happy with that straight right hand. And as soon as INOUE started either catching him with the outside of his gloves, you saw that in the second round. But that lead hook was just fucking killing him.
Yeah.
He should have realized it. He should have realized it in at least, I don't know, man. I mean, like Brazil, for instance, could have, I think, taken Wilder a little deeper, since he gasses. But you know, INOUE's not going to gas like that. But he still should have at least played it a little smarter with the jab, I thought.
Yo, as long as Pete's in here with me, I got a question for BDA because I know Pete's got the same question. Well, I'm assuming, but I with the Skype shit, can you get like an app and all that, and just like you're just replacing it with the Hangouts, BDA? Is that what you were saying, bro?
Yeah, because right now Hangouts it's kicking my ass. I don't. We've been having problems with the sounds. Everybody on YouTube hears everything perfectly. It's the Hangouts is the problem. So we're gonna change it to that. And by the way, Pete, don't forget to mute your mic because there's a lot of background noise if you're not talking.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm gonna jump back on in a minute. Let me just get off here. Let me get situated. Bye.
Right.
And then BDA, so it's just like the Hangouts. We just be going on to YouTube through Skype instead. You're saying
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just, I'm internet retarded, bro. So I'm just asking.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's what we're gonna try to do. Okay, so going back to INOUE again. INOUE, I want to see him beat Donaire, which he's expected to do. Donaire's already lost a couple of times, so if INOUE is the truth, he's gonna be able to pull that one off. And I want to see him fight Tete, who was stupid enough to be sparring the week of the fight, and ended up getting himself all crippled up and couldn't fight. So I want to see INOUE fight those guys, and then, and only then, will the great BDA start thinking about putting him in the top 10 per pound list. Until then, no siree, Bob. All right?
The great BDA.
The great BDA, the one and only. The one and only.
I can't have it. I can't have it. I can't do it, Henry.
Go ahead.
Just for the record, Tete's gonna duck Inoue if he wins. He's gonna duck the winner no matter what. I don't know if you guys noticed, but he was wearing a TMT hat at the fight, so
He's
that tells
ducking.
you everything you need to know.
Yeah, he's ducking.
It might as well say shook on his hat.
They should change that from TMT to TDC, the ducking crew.
Like I said in my video, mate. Unless I see a doctor's note, medical evidence. If you pull out of a fight, your balls went, your ass went, you're a ducker. From now on, I'm not accepting these people pulling out fights anymore.
I mean,
it's become a common thing. Tete sitting in the crowd, sitting there putting his fist up. Hey, I'm next, boy. You should have been there that night. Pulling out. You know what I mean? I got no time. Tete had a chance to beat someone, make a name for himself, but he's going to just be on Frank Warren cards, Gorman undercards and shit like that. Fucking
TDC. That's what they're down with. TDC.
Yeah, who spars on the week of the fight? Like, come on. You just asking, like he did on purpose to get injured.
Yeah. Like Stu the principal said, I think Stu was a principal in another fight, we want to see a doctor's note. All right. If no doctor's note, because even certain fighters, they show that, you know, they use a red marker and they put it on their arm to show, oh, look at me, I just had surgery. At least do something like that. This motherfucker didn't even do that. He just said, oh, I got injured. Sorry, no fight. Come on. This guy, listen, I still think he's a good fighter, and I want to see him fight Inoue. All right. And Inoue, by the way, we got to give him props. That power, man, it is legit, because he hasn't gone past 5 rounds in his last, 4 or 5 fights? Or 4
That's good,
fights,
but that could hurt him one day, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But he definitely is the goods. I think so.
He is.
But
He is.
his
He's
resume,
explosive.
Exactly. But his resume, though, I want to say a little bit more.
I mean, Rodriguez win is a nice one. That's a nice, you know, it's a nice little chip to have.
Absolutely.
He beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And he just beat him. He beat his ass.
And I don't think there's anybody else in 115, 118, or 122. Well, maybe 122. But that can do that to Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez is good.
I think I really think this guy could go up to 126, man. He looks big
too. Let's not. Are you talking about Inoue or Rodriguez?
Not right. No, I'm talking about Rodriguez too. But what's his name?
Inoue.
Naoya Inoue. Like, he looks like he can go up to featherweight. Did he win a belt at 112 at flyweight?
Yeah.
Okay, you know that he would be
Wasn't it like flyweight?
He would be the second person. He would be the second person in history. Second person in history if he can go to 126 and win a world title. No, I mean,
yeah.
115.
He did. But what I'm saying
is,
there's never been a flyweight that ever gone up to featherweight and won a belt.
Yeah, I think he started that light.
One guy.
Yeah, I think he started at light flyweight, then skipped flyweight and went to super fly for the potential Gonzalez fight.
I agree with Recognize, because when you look at Inoue, and I know all these guys at the lower weights, most of them are kind of wiry, but when you look at his chest specifically, no homo fags. Like there's nothing there, you know what I mean? Like it's paper thin. So I think he's literally artificially keeping himself, like, his muscle mass low, and I think he's got a lot of room to fill in. He won't be the tallest guy at featherweight, but I think he could put the weight on comfortably, and I think his power will carry. He might not be the same destructive monster, but I mean, fuck, man, he'll be powerful enough. Trust me.
Who are you talking about, precise? Who was it?
Inoue. Like, just pay attention to his chest. Like, there's no muscle there. There's definition, but there's like no bulk whatsoever. So I think he's like struggling to make the weight in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the thing with Inoue, someone's gonna walk down the street, right? See a small little Asian guy, right? Not know who he is, and start a row with him, and end up losing their fucking teeth, because this guy just this guy looks like one of them guys that spends all day on Xbox. You know, one of them fucking game masters.
Yeah, he does.
But he is an absolute monster. There's nothing. He's got blonde, bleached hair. He's a pretty boy. There's nothing that tells you this guy can fight. But you put him in a boxing ring, and he's an absolute monster. Destruction. I mean, that was last night. And this Rodriguez, he's a talent. This Rodriguez. This is no bum. He's just destroyed it. So yeah, I'm starting to open up my eyes to this guy, man. And like I said, if he wins that tournament against Danair, which I'm favouring him to do so,
Hey,
I think another good win, and we could be talking that pound for pound list, top 6.
Yeah, I agree, Stu. Hey, how about this? How about Inoue versus Rigondeaux? Let's make that fight happen.
Well, Rigondeaux,
no, fuck Rigondeaux.
You just want to see an old man get killed.
Yeah, that's right. Stu, that's right.
Rigondeaux will got that fight.
He wants to see a 47-year-old guy get killed. Listen, about Inoue moving up to weight, and then we got to move on to BARANSHYK versus Taylor. Let's not forget when Golovkin was rampaging through the middleweight division, people were saying, "Oh, he could go up all the way to 175 and take out on the best guys and blah blah blah." And then he started facing some of the best middleweights, and all of a sudden he couldn't quite stop him as well as he was doing before. So let's see Inoue really clear out the 118-pound division, because it's like Errol Spence too. Remember, guys, some people were saying Errol Spence could easily beat middleweights, and then all of a sudden he couldn't take out Mikey Garcia. So let's wait and see how he does against other opponents. I certainly think the power is legit at 118, but I don't want to see him moving up to 122, 126 quite yet. All right, that's.
I agree, BDA.
All right, so let's move on to BARANSHYK versus Taylor, and if I remember correctly, this was Taylor moving up to his record to 15-0. This guy hasn't even had 20 fights yet, by the way. That's how impressive this is. He's 15-0 now, 12 knockouts, and he won a unanimous decision over the undefeated BARANSHYK, who's built like a veritable shit brick house. I mean, this motherfucker is strong, and he was walking through some of Taylor's punches. He was breaking Taylor's guard too. And Taylor, what I liked about this fight, by the way, guys, is that he wasn't running. He was staying right in there, sometimes to his detriment, and getting hit by BARANSHYK, just to really dig in some body shots to try to stop the stronger guy. I was very impressed with this performance, just like I was with Inoue's performance. What else did everybody think? What does everybody else think?
I still go ahead, then I'll go after you, buddy.
Well, I know one thing's for sure. I think BARANSHYK must have borrowed Errol Spence's nipples, because that fucking guy, man, he's definitely on roids. He's definitely on roids. But then he's going to be a very tough fight for anyone, BARANSHYK, because he throws punches and bunches, and it's very hard to fight him, because someone said in the chat, that's quite right, some of the angles he throws from as well, they're quite hard to see, and it's constant. You think you're moving away from one shot, and there's another 3 or 4 coming at you, so and one's going to land. Do you know what I mean? So he's very sloppy, very wide with his shots, but I see where Taylor, a lot of people saying Taylor went off the jab, which I agree with to a point, but I think every time Taylor started throwing out the single jabs, he was getting countered with like 3 or 4 hooks and uppercuts and everything else. And BARANSHYK was showing enough power to make Taylor worried, because I was worried for Taylor, because I was feeling them shots through the screen myself. So, but I thought it was a very good performance. It just, this guy, the thing I like about Taylor, every shot he throws is with mean intentions. It's to get the stoppage, and I love fighters like that. And he's got a very good boxing brain as well, and he breaks down a lot of fights. But like I said, a weaker man than BARANSHYK wouldn't have made it to the 12. BARANSHYK is going to be a very hard fight for anyone.
I totally. Oh, BDA, were you going to say something? I'm sorry.
No, I was waiting for you to say something.
Oh, I thought I heard some bad. I heard some bad.
I thought you said, "I'm all right, Spider."
I am all right. You ain't all right, you fucking prick.
Give me a cutty and water.
Yeah. No, but nah, man. Like I said, like Stu say, man, BARANSHYK ain't no piece of cake. That's a good fighter there. He'll be back around the block sooner or later. Yeah, he'll have a couple more good fights. And Taylor's a beast. I got, not to pat myself on the back or nothing, but I set Taylor on points and Inoue by knockout. Just saying. But
well,
anyways,
you know what?
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, I thought were you finished?
Me too.
I thought you were finished. Go ahead.
No, not quite yet. One more thing, BDA.
Please.
I got Taylor outboxing the shit out of Pro Grace unless he gets clipped with something. I'm going to say it right now, and he's going to win on points again. But anyway,
could be a stoppage.
Yeah, I got Taylor winning that shit, but just for down the line. But all I want to see him is come on horseback with his face painted blue and say I pay homage to Scotland when he goes to fight Pro Grace.
A little Braveheart reference right there. You know what? You reminded me of. I didn't even read the predictions that we made on the before last was it the last episode? Who gives a shit? Listen, here are the predictions for the Inoue fight. By the way, so I said Inoue by decision. I was wrong. Precise said Inoue by. Hold on a second. I don't even have any. I don't have any light here.
First round KO, BDA. First round KO.
All right, Jimmy said Inoue 8th
Fill in
round
the blanks.
TKO. Gonzalo said Inoue 7th round KO. Recognizes Inoue 9th round. Apology said Inoue unanimous decision. Johnny Boy said Inoue 10th round. Recognize. Now, who is this? Wrecked? By the way, official boxing scorecard. Sorry, man, but he gave me he hit me up on Hangouts and he told me that Rodriguez was gonna get the win. Corruption in boxing. He gave me his prediction too, but I don't have it on the paper here for some reason. Anyway, for the Taylor fight, Recognize had Taylor by unanimous decision. Johnny had Taylor by points, 8-4. Jimmy had Taylor majority decision. Precise had Taylor unanimous decision, 7-5. Gonzalo had Taylor split decision. Apology had Taylor legit TKO. I had a TKO as well by cuts. Pete had Taylor unanimous decision, and Corruption had Taylor. So we all got it more or less right. We all had it more or less right.
I win.
And by the way, hold on a second. I said official score.
What can we say?
I said official scorecard boxing. I made a mistake. It wasn't official. I meant boxing style. Boxing style picked Rodriguez by stoppage. Sorry
No
about
shit.
that.
Nobody cares what boxing style has to say.
Hey, now come on.
I'm shocked, bro. I'm so shocked.
But anyway,
Did he pick Wilder to lose too?
Yes.
no,
yes.
no. He did.
Nah, but last night he said he had a hell of a performance.
All right, listen.
Yeah, he sold on Wilder. Right.
I hopefully.
Sorry, let's not go that way. Sorry, BDA.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Listen, with Taylor, what I liked about Taylor was he dug to the body against a shorter, stronger guy, and he was trying to get Baranchik out of there. That's what impressed me the most. But Carl Frampton, who was doing the commentating for the zone, he was saying that he would have liked to have seen Taylor on the outside a little bit more. When he fights Prograis, who was in the audience, by the way, do you think he's gonna try to box him from the outside, or will he try to make it a firefight?
He can't box, bro. He can't box. I learned that last night. Can I give my thoughts on the fight?
Yes,
Because I disagree with you guys. I gave Baranchik 9 rounds in that fight. Now look.
Oh, come on, P, man.
Hold on. Now look, it was a lot like Canelo, Danny Jacobs. Neither guy was really winning in terms of punches, but because Taylor was running a lot and Baranchik was the one pressing the issue and throwing more punches, neither guy was really landing that well. I just found myself giving rounds to Baranchik. I thought the scorecards were atrocious. With those 9 rounds that I gave him, yeah, there were like 3 or 4 where I was like, oh, I don't know who to give it to. I simply gave it to the guy that was pressing the action, and he seemed more effective. So I think I can't call it a robbery, but I think Taylor got a gift. I think he was exposed for the inability. No, I won't say inability to box. He's a fighter at heart. I think when we look at this guy and he moves around a lot, we tend to think he's a boxer. No, he's a fighter, which is going to play right into Prograis' hands, I think. I thought he looked poor. I didn't think it was a good performance. I thought Baranchik was bullying him, pushing him around. The knockdown was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like, he showed that he's the better puncher, so on and so forth. But most of his shots were slaps behind the head. I wasn't impressed at all. I thought Baranchik should have gotten the nod. 8-4, maybe, 7-5. I guess if it was 7-5, he would have lost. I don't know. You tell me what the math is. But I thought Baranchik won the fight, period.
I had it 7-5. What's his name? Taylor, plus the 2 knockdowns. But yeah, I agree with Precise that I think that I think there's something to say about him fighting Prograis. At first, I was kind of like 50-50. It's still a 50-50 fight because you can't say for sure. But I think I'm a little bit more confident that Prograis wins. I'm picking Prograis to beat him. I think Prograis has the opportunity to knock him out because Josh Taylor is a fighter.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Progray's not a fighter, and I got a feeling. Take it to Progray, get inside, start throwing body shots, take his range from him because he's good at distance, but his inside game's fucking basically non-existent. I mean, let's be real. Terry Flanagan, fucking candy floss hands. Terry Flanagan was tagging him up all night. Josh Taylor, much better fighter than Terry Flanagan, and he's gonna hurt Progray. And I got we've seen it before with these flashy Americans. You take it to them. Take them to deep waters and their fucking bollocks fall out of their trousers and they quit. I'm not saying that Progray will quit, but he's going to start feeling sorry for himself very quickly, and he's going to have to land that one big shot to beat Josh Taylor. Because if it goes the distance, which I don't think it will. I think he's going to get beat up on the inside, and I actually expect Josh Taylor to stop Progray. I really do. Let's not underestimate BARANSHYK now. Because BARANSHYK was hitting him, that means this fight's Progray's in the bag. It don't work like that. Terry Flanagan was tagging up fucking Progray. Does that mean Josh Taylor's got it in the bag? So it goes both ways. But let's calm down about Progray. I mean, who's he fucking beat?
I think the difference there is Terry Flanagan is good at distance. He has a good jab. He moves well, and he's a stick and move kind of a guy. I don't think Josh Taylor is the kind of guy. For me, he looks like a fighter, and Progray is a puncher. So that's a terrible style for him.
And just go with the scoring. Oh, go on, P. I think it's finished. Sorry, cut out.
No, like I think Progray, the reason why he struggled with Flanagan is because he's a puncher and Flanagan boxed him. So it was difficult for him. I think Taylor, like we talked about this with Taylor, it was on a different show, sorry, but on Del Boy's podcast, we talked about how, well, I said it, how, for some reason, Taylor was brawling with Posto instead of boxing him. And it just dawned on me. He's not that good at distance, in my opinion. That's why BARANSHYK was able to counter that jab. And I don't know if you guys remember, but I wasn't high on BARANSHYK at all. I think his ceiling is actually pretty low. He's a strong dude, whatever, but he doesn't have good punch technique. He doesn't hit as hard as some guys may think. He only has a 60% KO ratio.
Yeah.
And the better class of opposition he fights, he doesn't knock him out. I think someone like Provodnikov, who I would compare him to, would run through this guy. It'd be a great fight, but I think Provodnikov would get inside of those wide shots and fuck him up. I think Progray would fuck him up. I'm not saying that it's a sure win or an easy win for Progray. I just lean toward him based on what I saw in their last fights because I think they're gonna clash and I think they're gonna exchange punches, and I just favor the guy with more power and better short game. But hey, I could be wrong.
Well, you know what? I had to go.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
Sure. Because I've got quite a lot to say, so.
Don't worry about it. Go ahead. Take your time.
All right. Well, one thing real quick. I want to agree with Precise and disagree with him, but I'll go with agree with him first. You made a good point of Taylor being a fighter because his best work was when he stopped using single jabs and start hooking to the body and bringing it to BARANSHYK. And at times, BARANSHYK couldn't hang with Taylor when he was throwing those combinations and, not just throwing single jabs at him. And one thing I would disagree with, I believe that Progray and Taylor have the same amount of power. I think Progray might have a higher knockout percentage, I'm not sure, but to me, they look like they hit as hard as each other.
Yeah, they're both the quintessential boxer punchers. Apology. I think that's. Well, listen, the great thing about this tournament is we're gonna see who the better man is because they're actually gonna fight each other. Thank goodness. I'm not gonna take the Lord's name in vain. But I will say this, because I had to go away and take an overseas phone call. But I was listening to what you guys were saying, especially Precise when he said that he thinks BARANSHYK won the fight. Maybe I have to rewatch the Taylor fight. But I thought Taylor's body punches, I was counting those, and that's why I had him win the fight. And I also, he also dropped BARANSHYK. Let's not forget. So. I had that fight for Taylor.
Taylor was dodging a lot of those punches, blocking a few. Well, yes, he was getting caught, but because Taylor was putting his own work off. Yes, there's a few slaps in there. I noticed he wasn't turning his shots at times, but when he does get it right, I mean, look what that shot that landed on BARANSHYK. I mean, was that shot any different to the shot that INOUE landed? Yeah, we're all creaming our pants for INOUE, aren't we? But yeah, Josh Taylor lands the same shot against a much tougher guy, and then there's no respect given. And as for the scoring, I mean, yeah, people score fights differently, but I gave Baranchik 4 rounds, and I thought he won the rounds. You know, a couple of them he won quite clearly. Yeah, he's a tough guy. He's going to be hard for anyone to beat. And the way Prograis throws his fucking jab out and single shots all the time, you know, Prograis, yeah, he's going to outbox Baranchik, but if Prograis wants to try and fight Baranchik, he could get fucking hurt as well because, like I said, his inside game's rubbish.
Well, listen,
Baranchik's a handful in Baranchik's a handful in the pocket because he throws so many wild shots from funny angles. And look at the punishment he can take as well. So, you know, I think we need to start giving Josh Taylor a bit of credit for this win. And he definitely won on the cards. Come on now. You know, let's not, if you're getting the 10-7 round, you know, you need to stop Brian. The fight was a clear Taylor win.
What I wanted to say, the reason why I brought that up is because I wanted to get to the Taylor Prograis thing, which was that I agree with Precise when he says that Taylor might not be that. I mean, he can do a good job of, what was the name of that guy he beat? The American Golden Boy guy, undefeated, in the first bracket of the tournament. Not Maurice Hooker, the guy that looks like Maurice Hooker. Anyway, listen, he can outbox guys like that from the outside.
Ryan Martin,
yes, thank you. Ryan Martin. This other, Baranchik is, like Precise said, he's a limited fighter. And it's a good comparison to compare him to Prodovnikov because they're built about the same.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
But I will say this: Taylor, he likes to fight on the inside, and he has to learn. When he fights Prograis, my thing is this: here's my prediction: he has to make Prograis come to him, because Prograis, when he was walking towards Flanagan, when he dropped him, he started getting caught with those shots. He's not that great coming forward either, Prograis. He drops his hands. He did it to Indongo. He was able to walk him down, but that's Indongo. Longer guy.
Indongo, man.
Yo, BDA, were you finished?
Just real quick, just last thing. So my thing is, Taylor needs to pop that jab against Prograis. He needs to make Prograis come to him. It's not going to be easy because Prograis has very good head movement, and I think it's going to be a hell of a. It's not going to be the most entertaining fight. It's not going to be like the one we saw last night, but it's going to be a hell of a boxing fight. That's all I want to say.
I just don't see. I don't really get the hype that we get from Prograis. You know, like I said before, it was an average performance against Terry Flanagan. It really was an average performance. I don't care what any.
Why are we forgetting about Relic? Like, no one's mentioning what he did to Relic.
If you let me finish, I was better get to Relic. Then he went on a good performance against Relic, but Relic's he's tailor made for someone like Prograis, and Relic didn't fancy it on the night. It was a piss poor, gutless performance. Let's be real. And this is a Relic that, yes, I had him beating Ricky Burns, but the judges saw it close enough to give it to Ricky Burns, which is a disgrace in itself. So let's not pretend Relic's anything special. I mean, Relic would have got slept against Josh Taylor. So I'm just trying to keep the balance here. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yo, I was just gonna say real quickly, I gotta jump off, fellas, but have a wonderful Sunday, guys.
All right, Johnny boy.
Later,
thanks for
man.
being on, man.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, because no one's mentioning Relic. I just keep hearing Flanagan. Look, going into that fight, we weren't. I mean, I knew who was gonna win, and I think most people got it right. But people were saying it's gonna be a tough fight. We said the same about Baranchik and Taylor, and we were dead wrong about Prograis and Relic. So I mean, we gotta give Prograis some credit. If we were high on Relic, and he had better wins than Baranchik ever did. So
yeah,
that was a good win, and just the way he won.
Hold on, guys.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And I just want to say this, like, I was never high on Baranchik. Okay, I would have picked Relic to beat him. Whatever, the fight didn't happen. Irrelevant. Baranchik to me is not that good. I still maintain this, and I thought Taylor was going to have a hard time, but then he was going to take over the fight and school him late, and that didn't happen. So for me, I feel like I overrated Taylor, and I think I underrated Prograis. So whereas before I was saying I favored Taylor, after these last two fights, now I'm favoring Prograis. And just to answer your point, apology, I wasn't saying that that Prograis hits harder than Taylor. I don't think he does. I was saying that Prograis hits harder than Baranchik. That's what I was saying.
Well, there you go. My thing is this. With Baranchik, I think he stepped up his game a little bit in this one. He didn't overshoot the distance the way I expected him to. partly because I think Taylor did a good job of keeping him outside when he wanted to. But Baranshyk's a strong dude. I think he's going to give everybody in that division a tough fight. And as for Prograis, like I said, this guy is much more loosey-goosey than Taylor. They're different styles. But at the end, they're both boxer punchers. It's going to be a great fight. I think the Relic win was fantastic, even though, to toot my own horn, I had that prediction dead on. Dead on. And so I think, but also Prograis, listen, his power is legit, man. He dropped, what's his name? Indongo, even though I know some of you guys aren't all that high on Indongo, but it was impressive the way he took him out. And what was the other win? Flanagan. I mean, he outboxed Flanagan, who's a good boxer. Flanagan had good wins over Orlando Cruz and what was his name? The other guy, Magdaleno's brother, and Peter Petrov, who was also a good fighter. So,
BJ, did you just say Orlando Cruz?
yes, no, because hold on. Orlando Cruz is he's a decent boxer. I mean, it's not like anybody can stop him all that much. And Flanagan outboxed him or stopped him. I think didn't he stop him? I forget. Listen, my point is this: it's gonna be a hell of a fight. All right. I see we got Jimmy on the line now. You know what that means. And after that, we're gonna open up the phone lines. Hold on a second.
I had a bad trip at a wedding in Maine, and it was a stormy night, right? I'm on LSD. Oh, I was fucking freaking out. It was horrible. I'll never take it again.
That's right. Jim, are you there?
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good to have you on board, man.
What's going on, man? So, looks like everybody was right. There's no surprises. At least I know I just heard Precise give his thing on Prograis going in, because I've had Prograis from the beginning, before the tournament even started. Once I heard all announced, I just said Prograis was going to take the whole thing. I still haven't changed from that.
No.
On that. And hey, can we say, listen, I just want to say, whoever ordered up that fucking knockout can somebody please explain to me? He was a football player, Brazil, which never usually translates well into boxing. But how the fuck do you walk straight on a straight line with your head like you're fucking, like you're in a beauty pageant, up nice and high, and you're fucking, as you're coming in, just as you crouch into that dead man's area where you should never have your hands down, he begins to drop his left and steps right into a right hand. Like that was... It was so pathetic. It was laughable. I'm glad I didn't waste my Saturday night. I saw it this morning.
I don't think he even trained for that fight. He looked even fired than he usually does.
Oh, dude, it was. I'm glad I saw it this morning. I predicted a second round knockout, but I mean, I'm glad I didn't waste my Saturday night on it. What a fucking joke.
Brazil looked like a man, right? That just before he's about to go in the ring, he's got a message that his wife and kids are with someone, and if he don't throw the fight, they're going to get a bullet. Because that's the look he had on his face, sort of thing. I mean, pathetic, weak, useless performance. And I see all these guys getting well excited. What did Wilder do last night? He beat another American bum. And let's be real, that's all he did. And let's see him. This guy could beat anyone. I'm not saying he can't, but all he did last night was beat an American bum. So let's calm down a little bit, because that belt's not even his. If we'll start bringing facts up, and that belt's not even fucking his. That green belt he keeps flashing around is stolen. He should be done for theft.
Exactly.
Has anybody noticed now that Apology's been hitting the gym for a week and a half? Everybody's a fat ass.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Just kidding, bro.
Somebody's fat shaming. We were fat shaming a little bit in the last episode, but hey, what do you want? Listen,
Apology's an elitist.
Yo, don't let me show the chat. You guys were taking the piss out of Brazil. What do you call him? Old titty woman or something like that?
Sorry, I didn't understand.
Well, I was going to say
in the hangout group chat.
Oh yes, he was a fucking fat. Oh, hold on a second, because I'm getting distracted here. Just to remind everybody, the listeners, the phone lines are open. We've opened up the portal. Phone numbers right up there in the description. I mean, in the description, up in the
keep the portal clean. So you know.
That's right. This is like
are we accepting Wilder talk or no Wilder talk?
You know what? I think we're actually done with Baranchik and Taylor. So why not? Last half hour. Let's get.
Let's freestyle. Come on. Let's freestyle.
Yeah, let's freestyle it. Let's go.
Oh shit! Did I bring up something I wasn't supposed to?
No, you
Yes,
brought
you
up
did.
everything you were supposed to.
Yeah, he did actually. He did. Let's call him out on it. Let's call him out on it. Now listen.
No, let's not call him out on it.
Well, hold on,
Let's
Jimmy.
praise him for this.
Jimmy, I wanted to ask you
Yes,
something.
sir.
I wanted to ask you something because you're on the know in this type of things. Pete put up a message in the Google Hangout chat saying that the PBC has been sold to another company or something, or some corporation. Have you heard anything about that?
Yes. Well, there's this Tree, the black kid who actually has a good YouTube channel. He's always battling with the LDBC. You know who I'm talking about. He did a video on it. About it was an investor company, and they talked about boxing and
T Street.
Yes, T Street. Yes, and there's people that Bob Arum knows, and Bob Arum kind of hinted at it. Now, here's my only thing. There's no question Waddell and Reed invested over $500 million. That's 100%. There's not a chance in hell they've received any money back on their investment. If anything, maybe a smidgen of the couple of pay-per-views or whatever, because the PBC originally lost money hand over fist. Al Heyman has never changed his LLC, meaning Al Heyman Boxing LLC owned the original PBC, and it's the owner of this PBC. So if it is sold and it's under the same LLC, there's got to be, I don't know if they're also helping pay off debt occurred to Waddell Reed, because there's no way. I mean, they filed federal lawsuit. I don't know what's going on with that. I know it was scheduled to be heard. So that's my only thing. What would question that being sold is it's hard to sell a company that's got a lot of debt attached to it.
Yeah. That's the bizarre thing. But yeah, I just wanted to know exactly what the deal was that, because if it's gonna get us better fights, then I'm all for it. But like you said,
my only problem is I think that Al Heyman would probably stay on as an advisor, probably pick the cream of the crop of the boxers he'd want to work with.
Right.
I don't know who would be driving the that part of the industry. He micromanages everything, so I don't know. I mean, look at the people around him. He's got Tim T. Swizzle Smith as the VP. He's got Kenneth Bordry as his podcast guy.
Oh yeah, those guys.
And whatever. And then the two brothers, those two fucking bookends, and the father. I mean, and then he has a secretary. That's pretty much his whole industry. That's his whole company. So I don't know if he'd have to hire somebody else to start doing that. But they got to do something. The PBC. I mean, do you see they just announced Trout and Gausher, or the kid who lost to Lara. Gausher, Gaushua. I mean, just a feather-fisted kid who just has no shot. Like, this fight goes nowhere. It's the headline on Fox. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just feel they've been given nothing but trash. So.
Well, that's the thing, though, because people are saying Deontay Wilder's taking over boxing after he knocked out BREZEALE last night. So they can certainly make something happen with Wilder. I mean, he has the potential to be a mainstream star. Do you think that they're banking on that? Is that their ace in the hole right now?
Well, yeah. I mean, if one of the reasons they didn't make that would be an instant big money maker against. But they're going to have to. There's so many concessions, and listen, that's the thing. Now that he knocked him out, and he went further with Joshua. It's just all these things. But no matter how you slice it, Joshua is the A side. But again, I know that for whatever reason, Wilder doesn't believe he is the B side. And when it comes down to that, it's financial. It's not how fast people will defend you on Twitter. It comes down to who puts the ducats together, and nobody's going to bring in the money that Joshua can bring in.
Right.
That's just a plain and simple.
Yeah, that's why I don't like talking about this fight, because the both sides are incredibly stubborn. I haven't seen such stubbornness since the Mayweather-Pacquiao negotiations, or since that negotiation I had with a hooker last night. I mean, these people are very hard-headed. They're very stiff.
Oh, man,
and
I heard that.
Well, yeah, listen, I'm being honest here. This show is all about honesty. My point is this. Somebody in the chat room is saying, who was it? Anyways, somebody said that they want to sell the PBC to Dana White. Is there any truth to that, Jimmy?
Well, Dana White's out of. I mean, I don't know how much longer. I think he's got 2 years left on his contract, because after they sold the UFC.
Right.
He started out in boxing. It wouldn't surprise me if he was part of the deal, like he was part of the ownership package. Maybe he was involved. But
Can you
the thing
imagine?
is, that could go two ways with Dana. That could either be great because he's shown to put together good fights because he knows good fights sell. Look what he does the UFC. He just doesn't pay the guys well, I guess.
I mean, I can see that going down well with the LDBC, you know, selling it to a white man with a name, with a name called White.
there you go,
A white
sir.
man with a name called White. That's going to go down really well.
And a Trump voter as well.
Motherfucker! I just wanted to add one thing about Brazil and Wilder. Let's not fucking pretend too that Wilder wasn't rocked from that Brazil right hand that grazed off the side of his temple. What the fuck?
Stu were talking about that, man.
Yeah. Wilder was a little whip. He was a little fucking goofy legged for a second there. He got a little stunned. I was surprised. He didn't catch him with much. So that just reiterates the fact that someone's got to land one good shot.
Yeah. I was saying, Jimmy, he did the Sammy Davis Jr. dance, didn't he? Let's be real, he did, and that was a poor
Sammy
shot.
Davis.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did the Sammy. And let's be real, that was a poor shot. That
it wasn't a good shot. There wasn't much leverage on it.
It was a get off me shot. He closed his eyes. It was a get off me shot, hoping it'd land. No technique, no power behind it. It clips Wilder on one of his fucking plats. And the next minute, he's got it in the Sammy Davis Jr. mode. And get out of here. As soon as fucking Joshua lands on Wilder, mate, sleep time. And I can't wait. I fucking can't wait till that guy loses that belt that he shouldn't already have, if you get what I'm saying.
And if he does lose to Joshua, what does that do to his legacy? I mean, the guy's 41-1. I mean, 41 with one draw, and you look at his fucking resume. Oh my God. You have a has-been that never was in Stavern. You're fucking... That American football player Brazil is a joke. I mean, his best win is over Ortiz, who is closer to 50 than he is 30. You know, it's just who the fuck is this guy fought?
You know, my son, who's not like so my son is, he's a young man, and we're watching the fight together, and Ortiz came in, and I had to bring this up, and I was like, "How old do you think that guy is right there?" He's probably like 50. Looks like a cool 50-year-old dude. I'm like, he's a boxer. He's like, nah. Like, yeah, he's a boxer. He's a top contender. He's like, for what? I'm like, for the heavyweight title, for the guy that just finished. He's like that, and my son doesn't follow boxing. He's not a boxing fan. And I was like, the guy that just fought, the guy that just knocked out, the guy that just won, he's gonna fight him next. He's like, and I didn't tell him that they already fought. And his comeback was, dude, how old is he? Like, he's supposedly 41 or 42. It's like, no way.
Man, that just goes to show you. Listen, this
fight...
fight...
he was just like, there's no way he's 41 or 42.
It was a tune-up. This fight was a tune-up, let's face it. And but I do give credit to Wilder. He can knock out fighters of this level. And if he does take on Joshua, he might be able to stun him with that right hand or even stop him. But Joshua is going to be very weary of that right hand.
Yeah, but he's going to knock Joshua out if he lands with that. Let's keep it real. If he lands with that shot he landed on Brazil, he's going to knock Joshua out. But guess what? Joshua's not going to come. Joshua's not going to come walking forward, square on in straight lines with his hand down and his fucking eyes closed.
Stu, you know how I see that fight playing out? You know how I can see that fight playing out? I could see that fight playing out exactly like Tommy Hearns versus Marvin Hagler. Like, Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns can make whatever fucking excuse he wants. He knows his only chance was to knock out Marvin Hagler, because eventually the fight keeps going on. He's gonna get touched and he's gonna get knocked out. Wilder has to knock AJ out. If it turns into a boxing fight, you can forget about it. He's losing, hands down. He's gonna lose the fight. He's got to knock him out, just like with Tyson Fury. We already saw what happened when he fought the top-notch guys. Tyson Fury went in there. The only shot he had was to knock him out. Maybe he doesn't get outboxed by AJ by that kind of margin. But the dangerous part about AJ is that he punches very hard. So, yeah, he's going to be setting punches up. And if this guy's getting weary, he's gonna stop him. So, yeah, Wilder has to knock him out. And he has to do it quick. He has to do it within the first half of the fight.
And to echo Stu's comments, there's no chance in hell AJ's going to walk in, like you said, with his head up like that. That was a joke. It really was. Like, wow.
The way he threw that lazy left hand and then closed his eyes straight away, it's like he knew it was coming. mate, if he's either really useless or he's thrown the fight.
And his eyes weren't that fuzzy. I'm telling you. I think he could have got up on 10.
He's either thrown the fight or he really is that useless. I'm not sure yet, but let's be real. Doing that against someone like Wilder, it's fucking kids' mistakes, man. I'm not even a professional fighter, and I know that you don't go in there and do that with Wilder. We all do here. I mean, this guy has been in camp for 6. This Virgil Hunter, Keisha Cole's dad, because that's what I call him. He's
a fucking henchman for the other side, man.
He's Keisha Cole's dad. That's what I call him. That's what he is to me. Because what's he done for anyone? Andre Ward was always a talent. Give me Andre Ward, and I'd have made him a fucking world class fighter.
Now wait a minute.
Let's back off Virgil Hunter. He's had so many fucking chances to prove his worth as a trainer. He's got a lot of talent, and he's failed miserably every time. What Brazil did last night was fucking schoolboy stuff, and this is a world title fight. Absolute joke, man.
All Virgil Hunter is teach you is work the lead hand and how to hold. That's it.
Do you think I'm going to have that? Do you really think I'm going to have that, you ponce?
I don't know, man. I think Virgil Hunter, listen, you don't make a good fighter like Andrew Ward if you don't know what you're doing. I'm not saying he's a great trainer, but he certainly seems to have his stuff down. Hold on a second.
Listen, Andre Ward, you get certain fighters. I mean, it's like the Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather Senior where was the next Floyd Mayweather if he's so great? At least Lomachenko's doing it with his son and Usyk. Well, where's Floyd Mayweather Senior's Floyd Mayweather Jr. If you get what I'm saying?
But that's what I said.
These are natural. These are natural talents, mate. That would be world class boxers. You could give them to Joe Gallagher, and they'd still be world class.
Oh, hold on. I was wondering how long it was going to take you to Mount Gallagher. Now, first of all, hold on a second. I didn't say he's a great trainer. I said that like 20 seconds ago. I said he's a good trainer. You don't get to do what he did with Andrew Ward if you don't know what you're doing. But I agree. He's not. Look, Freddie Roach has a great track record. What?
Yeah, but my point is, what has he done with Andre Ward? He's holding the pads and he's holding the punch bag. Yes, he'll come with a strategy now and again, but it's you got to have the talent. It's like you could put me in a Formula One car, Ferrari. I wouldn't make it past the first fucking corner. So you still got to be a good driver to get in a fast car, and that's my point. Virgil Hunter's got a guy that was a natural talent from the amateurs. Always was going to be a world class fighter, no matter who you went to. And I just find that we give Virgil Hunter so much credit for. I mean, are we going to start giving these trainers credit for natural talent?
Listen, bro. I'm back for a minute. But here.
Well, I was just Johnny Boy. I was just I have to say a couple of things before we continue because I was gonna take a phone call. I was gonna take, and we got Bucho on the line as well. Bucho, you there?
Yeah. Take the phone call, man.
All right, I forgot to play your intro. Where's your intro?
No, don't play my. I don't have any.
All right. Yeah. I was gonna play something funny, but I couldn't find it. Listen, let's take the phone call. Hold on a second. All right, 203. You're on the line. 203.
What up? It's Revolution.
Oh, Revolution. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, guys. It's a party now. Damn, Bucho's in the house. Fucking Johnny's back.
All right, so
going on?
Yeah, good to have you on board, man. What's going on? What are your thoughts on this? Deontay Wilder and
Brazil really let me down, man. I was hoping he was gonna come with that fury, not Tyson Fury, but that anger fury, and come out and try to get some revenge. And he looked fucking sorry for himself. It's said all the time, you come in looking sorry for yourself. That's what he did, and
meek.
He just couldn't.
That's why I described it.
The aggression.
Yeah, like Jimmy said, meek. Listen, there's a reason why he's not a good fighter. It's because he doesn't have that mentality to change and to absorb boxing and to make changes. I mean, how many years has he been a pro and he's still fighting with his hands down, straight up in the air like a mummy, slapping with his shots? I mean, come on. I mean, but hold on. I give Wilder credit. I'm not a Wilder hater, but it's like if we give Triple G props right now for knocking out that my fellow Canadian that he's going to be fighting. I'm not going to give him props. I mean, he's supposed to destroy the guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I think I heard somebody use the word, talking about Brazil, the word pondersome. And that's it was a very good word. He just kind of was in there. It was very aloof, it seemed. It looked like he didn't show up, man. It's kind of the same way that Severn came for the second fight.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, these guys, and Audley Harrison. These guys are all just getting knocked down. Like, they're not even showing up.
Hey, by the way, Audley Harrison versus Deontay
Anyway.
Wilder, the rematch. Let's see it happen. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. The way things are going right now.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Please.
Hey, he's
No
younger.
way.
He's younger than Ortiz.
That's true, man. Yeah, 45.
I got to say something about that real quick, if you don't mind.
Please.
All right. Let me tell you something.
Go for it.
Ortiz had to go up in there with his walker and his cane, and he had to have the hospital people help him in the fucking ring. He's so old. Who in the fuck wants to see that fucking fight? I'm about as interested in that fight as I am about Tyson Fury dancing around the ring against some asshole named Schwartz. Fuck out of here.
Why you have to put the guy down? The other guy he's fighting. Come on. But you're right. That's the thing. I know Tyson. That's a good point. I know Tyson Fury cannot box guys like the one he's gonna fight next, the German guy, who's a tall guy, by the way. But that's about all he has. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is we know, like, it's a great point that you made. Like, we know Tyson Fury cannot box these guys, and we know Wilder can knock these guys out. It's over. Let's put them up against each other, because I don't want to see them fighting guys that I know. I already know what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
The worst part is these people. Like yesterday, I did a quick show. You know this, and all these people complaining. Oh, you're not giving credit to Wilder. You're just hating. Like, what type of credit do you want me to give Wilder? These people are just crazy, man.
They want you to love him the way they love him.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's like that. It's like that. You know, it's like that dirty bitch from the block that nobody. You know, she only dates guys that nobody likes except her. And she's like, "You supposed to see what I see."
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, sir, nobody sees that.
You just got to get to know him, and then you'll understand. But bro, like I said, let's keep it a buck here. Tyson Fury's a boring motherfucker. I'm glad he boxed Wilder's face off, but that aside, he's a boring, loudmouth cocksucker. Period.
That's right. That's right. Well, actually, I mean, he's loud, but somebody needs to take him to school.
He's a wanker. He's a
wanker. Yeah, that's what the Brits say, the wanker. You know what? Somebody needs to take all of these guys to charm school, because they got no charm. Joshua was in the Breakfast Club the other day, and he had his knuckles all busted up, and he says, "Oh, I have a skin condition." Bullshit. He was punching walls. I've been there, punching walls. When you get angry, you start punching walls. That's what this motherfucker was doing. Somebody needs to take him to charm school, let them know.
I got a skin condition too.
Well, hold on a second.
You gotta see my hands. I got a skin condition.
It's a letter from school. It says you haven't been there in months. In months!
That sounds like me getting beat.
All right.
That's my father whipping my ass.
What do you see on? Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, did you guys want to talk about Argenis Mendez and Juan Heraldez?
No.
Who did he ask for?
Nah, man, it's a shame. Argenis Mendez has been getting fucked over a lot, man. This is his third controversial, not even maybe semi-controversial draw. You know?
Yeah.
Poor
This
guy
UFC?
just can't get it done, it seems.
No, boxing.
No,
You know, he's trying to make a little comeback tour. And they're cutting it off, man.
Right.
No,
First it was
recognize now,
Arashi
bro. This
Usmani,
is this
that
is
Afghan
Hold on, Johnny.
Canadian,
Hold on.
remember him?
Yeah, go ahead, Revolution.
Y'all remember Arashi Usmani?
Yes. The Canadian guy,
Canadian
right?
Afghani fucking
Yeah.
boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah. They robbed Mendez against him there.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Lamont Peterson's brother robbed him against them.
I gotta defend.
Last night that could have been a legit draw, but
Hold on a second. I gotta defend Usmani in that one. The guy was pressuring Mendes. Mendes was on the ropes. If anything, Mendes gave the fight away.
What weight is this?
You know, that's maybe the one criticism you could make, that he lets these fights get away from him. But
That's
he
true.
did have nice he had good shoulder roll. You know, I've always kind of liked him.
Well, listen, I know
I
who's
want
not.
to see him break through and get one good win.
He got iced by Rances
last
Bartholomew.
one.
He got iced by Rances Bartholomew. The guy's another John Guzman. He's got all the tools necessary to be a great fighter, but he doesn't have the mentality. Robert Garcia said that a couple of years ago when he had him in his stable. The guy's just not into that, all that into boxing. He's already 32 years old. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
Well,
Yeah.
you see sorry, Revolution. I didn't mean to interrupt you, buddy.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Go ahead, get your shit in.
This was a fight last. These were fights last night.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Recognized. That's what I was gonna say. Recognized. It was the first fight on the fucking Wilder card.
I didn't see it.
Hey, what about
Man, that
fucking
guy's
Russell
up, man. He got
fighting
big coconut.
Kiko
He
Martinez?
took some shots to the dome and not-
Martinez.
Oh, hold on, hold on.
Robert Easter.
You guys, I think you guys can't hear the phone calls because it's pretty low.
Oh, I didn't know somebody was talking. Yep, sorry.
It's okay. The volume, listen, the volume, we've been trying to work with the volume so that you guys can hear the volume on the Hangout. Because everybody on YouTube, they can hear it okay, but on the Hangouts, for some reason, it's difficult to hear.
I hear Revolution.
All right, yeah, but it's only when people start talking, for some reason, it pushes down on the volume. I don't know why. Anyway, listen. Revolution, anything else you want to say before we go? Because we got other calls.
Nah, man, that's enough, yo.
Have a good day, bro.
Talking,
You know. Okay, take it easy, man.
I'll be listening. Take it easy.
All right, take it easy, man. That was Revolution giving us his shot. Okay, who was gonna say something? Recognize or Johnny Boy?
I'll just say something.
Yes, please.
Go ahead, Stu.
I've just had to pop out the room. Have you mentioned Saunders and Joe Joyce yet?
Absolutely not. And did you see the fight? I didn't see the fight.
Yeah, well, I missed the Joyce. I caught a few clips. He didn't look very good at all. He looked horrible, but that is Joe Joyce. He's never going to look nice, but he's a juggernaut, like his name says. Just walks through your punches, throws his own, and when he lands, things start to happen. I mean, this is a tough guy. He's going to take some beating. Technically horrible. No doubt about it. Does everything wrong, but sometimes these tough guys, they can make a good career out of boxing by being tough and and just doing the basics. And
like Hart will take you. Yeah, Hart will take you farther in boxing than any other pro sport. Think about another pro sport that you could go that far with just Hart, right? You couldn't not with football or anything else.
The boxing snobs will tell you how bad he is and all that lot, but for me, he won a gold medal. He got robbed. For me, he won that fight. So you don't win gold medals if you're fucking useless, do you? So there's something there with Joyce. I don't know what it is because it's not flashy skills. It's not speed. It's not devastating one punch power. But he just has a will to win, and he's
built
tough,
like a tank.
And he's built like and he wears you down. He breaks your soul, breaks your heart, sort of thing. That's what he does.
So can anybody just remind me, because I was getting confused? Joey Joyce is the guy who's got like that good head movement, or is that because I always confuse him and
Joy
Dubois.
Joyce is the guy that looks like Ness from the Boxing Voice.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I've never seen the guy, but
the Dominican kid. The Dominican cat.
And Dubois is the guy that's more like Anthony Joshua, right?
Right.
Yeah. Joyce looks like a gypsy Nesta Gibbs. He looks like a gypsy version of Nesta Gibbs.
He's caramel. Dubois is chocolate.
I see. All right. I get that. And by the way, let me just real quick. We got to take a phone call here. All right. So 317. You're on the line. 317.
They're all goddamn niggas. I fucking hate the goddamn niggas.
317. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up?
What the hell were you saying the N-word
up,
for, man? You're gonna get us kicked out, man.
They're all goddamn niggas. Fucking niggas. You fucking.
All right, that was a great phone call.
That was a prank phone call, yeah.
No kidding.
I feel like that was like Howard Stern or something.
And by the way,
Jesus
even when
Christ, dude, don't forget your hood.
Even when I answered the phone, you could tell he was practicing. He was practicing his fucking voice, right?
I know, I heard that.
It sounded like low place. Richard, do you remember that kid, that autistic kid you had on the Hangout one time? Sounded a bit like him.
Oh man, yeah. Well, did you hear what they were doing to one of the reasons I forget the person, might have been Steve Crowder, he stopped the call-ins because the left fucking little low T fucks were calling in and saying shit that they know would get, and then they would call in after saying shit on there, and then they would call YouTube and try to get them, demonetized.
Well, listen, we got
So you
this
gotta
guy-
watch out, sneaky fucks.
We got this guy's phone number, by the way. So anyway, that was a stupid attempt at trolling, man. It wasn't. I give it a
Message it
0.
to me in the Hangouts. I'll fucking call him.
I give
What's
it a
the
0
area
out of
code?
10. It was 317. 317.
BDA. He
Sounds
should
like ghetto.
Yeah, he should have played that. He should have played that. He should have played that bit from fucking Menace to Society. I hope you find your way through here at night, motherfucker.
Yeah, he should have played that. Anyway, listen, we got more phone calls coming up, so hopefully they'll be as good as that one. What were we saying? Okay, so Joey Joyce is the more loosey goosey type fighter, right? He's got that good head movement, and Du
Yes,
Bois-
he is. He moves
Alright.
his head sometimes not at all, but he can move his head a lot.
Okay, and
He's
he
kind
was
of herky jerky, yeah.
he was the one that we saw the video against Usyk in the super.
That's the guy.
That's the okay. So I just wanted to
That
clear
looked
that
like
up.
David versus Goliath.
Yeah, man, but I'm just
It-
curious.
like,
Then
Joyce looks much big. He looked much bigger than Usyk, and remember Usyk is 6'3".
But hold
Guys,
on. So
I just looked it up. 317 is Central Indiana, so the birthplace of KKK. Just FYI.
well, there you go. And by the way, Joey Joyce. So he didn't look good last night. Is that what you guys are saying? Because I didn't see the fight.
I wouldn't know. I didn't see the fight. So I
Me
can't
neither,
say.
man. Neither did I.
Did Saunders fight? Is that what he said? Saunders?
Yeah, it's like watching paint dry.
Ugh.
I would have rather watched the inside of my own eyelids than watch Saunders fight.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute.
The only time I want to see Saunders fight is like he has a shot to lose. Like somebody has a good shot of beating him.
I'd like to see Triple G put another birthmark on his other cheek.
What? Anyway, listen.
I would have liked to see Wilder and his boys jump him.
Oh, those fucking sons of Billy Joe Saunders are crazy. So again, I haven't seen the Billy Joe Saunders fight. He was a 168.
Hey, how many of you guys would have smacked that little boy in his face if he would have hit you in your balls?
Oh, I would have kicked him in the face.
I would have smacked him, and I said, "Calm your son down, okay?"
Yeah.
Did you ever see that fucking South Park kick the baby?
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, did you guys see that video of Schwarzenegger getting kicked by a guy from the LDBC?
Yeah, kicked in his back. Yeah. You see the size of his fucking staff? The guy put him in that sleeper, and then he cut the video off. He's fucking snap his
the boy
neck.
was like, help me, help me.
I was in
Mandela
this.
put
I was in this fucking little trap house the one time, bro, with all these GD motherfuckers, bro. Back in
Trap
the day.
house.
The fuck are we doing in the trap house? You got an issue?
No. But
Oh.
I was making some business. But anyways, I this was a long time ago. But I fucking my boy Smurf had his little boy running around, and he was screaming all this shit. This is how bad these ghetto babies are, bro. He was like, "I'm gonna violate you, motherfucker," and he's like 3 years old. And he hit me in the
3
balls.
years old.
4 years. I swear to God, recognize. I'm gonna violate you, motherfucker, because I was the only white dude in the crib.
Oh, he's so cute. So get the fuck out of here, little man.
No, he hit me in the balls, bro, and I smacked the hell out of him.
Oh, all right. So there you have it. Johnny Boy attacking children, and
Sometimes you have to. Sometimes these little children are bad.
I think El Dude's gonna make a video about this now.
Oh yeah.
And by the way,
Trust me.
we have what's his name, Schwarzenegger. I think he did deserve the kick because this is what people are. There's a new video coming out. This is what he told the guy a couple of minutes before that.
Come on, do it now!
All right, so there you have it. Man. He was asking for it.
I wonder when he got kicked by that African. Did he say that, right? Like did he say, "Do it now"?
I'm pretty sure he did. Hold on a second. Before we continue, we got another phone call. Hopefully, it'll be as riveting as the last one. All right, weird area code. You're on the air. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Tommy Temper here.
Hey.
I just wanted to point out a couple of things about the Wilder fight.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Don't you think that Brazil was the perfect showcase fight for Wilder?
Absolutely.
That's the reason why he didn't fight White or anybody else. And because of the knockout in the first round, his stock is going to go up. But
Well, I think
realistically,
seeing him get his legs a little goofy from just barely getting touched is the reason why, right? He's not fighting White or anybody who can bang, because I think he can go out of sleep real easy.
Yeah, Tommy,
Yeah,
that's
he's not
that's a
exactly
great point.
fighting. Yeah, that was basically all I wanted to say about that.
All right. Well, sure. Thanks for that. But it was a perfect showcase fight. It was a tune-up. We all saw that coming. Come on. It was a
It was,
tune-up.
yeah.
Now, the
That
question
was a
is,
brilliant punch, though.
let me ask you this, Tommy. Let me ask you this real quick. Like I said before, I don't want to see Wilder against guys I can knock out. So who are, if he doesn't take on either Joshua or Fury, who's somebody that would be acceptable for you?
Give me some options.
All right, Dylan White versus Wilder. Is that a good one?
Yeah, I'd watch that fight. I'd pay for it.
All right. How about Wilder versus the molester Pulev?
No.
No.
You know who has the only shot, in my opinion, to beat him, honestly, and it'll be a year from now, or probably a year and a half, and I don't think the Wilder people let him fight him. I butchered the kid's name, but Kenyan, who's being trained down at the Juice Gym down in Texas.
I know you mean.
You know what I'm saying? That kid can.
He's a Nigerian, and is he a Nigerian?
Nigerian, yes. I'm sorry, Nigerian. Yes, you're right,
He's
Stu.
an absolute monster of a man.
And he can crack. He can crack as hard as Wilder. So he's got a bigger neck, and he supposedly can take a shot.
I'm going to call it now, actually, boys. I'm going to call it now. In the next two fights, one of Deontay Wilder's opponents is going to be Baby Miller, and you can put that down on the pad, BDA. That's going to happen. He's got nowhere to go when he comes back. He's only got a 6-month ban, I believe. So nowhere to go when he comes back. Al will come with open armed with his little race card flashing, and he's gonna have to take him up on the offer, and he'll be fed straight to Wilder. But Miller's got a sort of style that could probably trouble Wilder. Don't be too put off by that fight if it's made, because when I'm looking down the list, there's not a lot of other options that Wilder can take.
Wilder struggles against short guys, like, because he gets under this
busy guys on the inside, yeah.
Yes.
Wilder looks like they're taking the plan that they're gonna wait this whole AJ thing out. Like they they're gonna make a career of just like, well, they already have, but they're just gonna finish their career of like beating bums and then just go for that one big payday.
You know what it is, though? Recognize it is like that. It's almost as if there's a war going on, and Johnny Boy will get what I'm saying. There's a war going on out there right now in the streets, and these guys are going to the mattresses. They're going into the mattresses. They're staying under the radar. They're staying under the radar, and they're waiting for things to call, to pan out. By the way, Tommy Temper just dropped out, but shout out to Tommy Temper. Thank you for the phone call. So yeah, you're right, man. It's almost like neither side really, or I don't know if neither side, but it just seems like nobody wants to make the fight. I don't know.
Well, that's what's good about that
It's
Nigerian
Wilder
kid
that
being with
doesn't
the
wanna
PB.
make the fight. Wilder doesn't want to. I'm sorry about that, Jimmy. It looks like now, to me, it's Wilder. He doesn't want the fight. It's not him specifically, but it's coming from their side. That's what I mean to say.
Let me add a point to that too. It's not like Wilder's tied down by any network either. So let's not act like this. I don't want to hear any of that wrong side of the street happy horse shit either.
Yeah.
Well, he's tied to Heyman. You know what I mean? So it's wherever Heyman tells him to go.
Yeah.
But that's the good thing about the Nigerian, like I was going to say, because he's PBC too, and if he's going to do things for shorter money, that's more money in Heyman's pocket. But I don't know. It could be easy to deal with, especially if Wilder's been giving Heyman lip. Who knows? I just want to see that fight. I think that's the only shot. That kid's, I think, is just a couple inches, maybe an inch and a half shorter, almost the same reach. And from what I heard, because my cute thing was, can this kid take a shot? A lot of guys can pitch, not a few guys can catch. And from what I heard, I don't know if there was some fucking schmooze being laid on it, but they said the kid can take a crack. He can really take a shot. A lot of Africans can, they take a shot.
Who's this?
Looks like a monster,
Who are you
man.
talking about?
F.A. Jogba.
F.A. Jumba, yeah.
That's a big fucking dude.
That's a big dude who can crack.
Man.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious to see. I'm just going to say, and then I'll stop. I'm just curious to see 2-3 more fights when he's up around 17, 18 wins, and they start talking about him, because he's ready now. I mean, as far as he's concerned, they're straight out calling out the champs. They want that fight now. But so if they're calling it out now, at some point, how can you duck people in your own fucking promotional company? What's the excuse then?
Yeah, well, all I know is Vito was catching, not pitching. But
Oh yeah, that's why Vito's under. He's under. But the kid he's big and he punches hard and all that good stuff. But let's see him take a crack. Let's see if he gets it, how he reacts.
Yeah.
So what's the plan with Wilder? So like, I don't think they would put him against this Nigerian guy before the AJ fight because he loses to
Price.
Yeah, that would be fun. No, seriously, I don't even know what the plan is for Wilder. What are they doing? So they're gonna wait out this AJ fight for when? Like, it doesn't make sense. And what if he loses?
At least to 2020. At least to 2020. The plan is to keep him undefeated, right? Because you don't want him to lose his
Look.
appeal.
If PBC's lining up the opponent, man, he ain't losing. Come on, we saw what these guys do when they get in the ring with him. They just say, here's my chin, Deontay. Lay it on me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, Prasad, you was talking about like the fucking range he was fighting in, and the fuck is that? Sorry about that.
Are you in the bunker?
I'm at work.
I see.
Backing up the dump truck?
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? Are you in a spaceship?
No, that's an emergency call for an elevator. That means an elevator stuck. But anyway, I'm sorry.
Recognizes on the forklift stacking his CDs, stacking his fucking dodgy CDs to be sold.
What were you gonna say, man?
Yeah, what? I don't think it matters anymore. Recognize, were you gonna say something? Oh, I think he muted. I think he's muted. All right, listen. Before we continue, we got another phone call, and let me take care of this. See if it's not another prank call. 690, you're on the line. Go ahead.
Yo, BDA, this your boy Jaquan from the hood. How you doing, baby?
Who?
This your boy Jaquan from Detroit, baby, representing what?
I can't hear him. He's got stuff in his mouth.
He said, "What's up, Motown?"
All right, do we know each other?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, because the way you said
it sounds like one of them. You know when they fucking change the voice on them snitches on them documentary fucking programs, when they have to plonk out their face. And that's what he sounds like.
That's right.
Yeah, he kind of sounds. Yeah, the way you said that, ABDA is like as if we'd met each other before in the past or something. I don't know. That's the way it sounded to me.
We might have in the past. You never know.
No, believe me, I know. Believe me, I know, man.
You got them jokes, don't you, BDA? You got jokes.
Well, that's what I try to do here. Try to make a couple of jokes. All right, what do you want to
That's
talk
the
about?
dude from Sling Blade, isn't it?
Yeah, hold on. Let's see what he has to say. Hold on. I'm ready to hang up on the guy just in case. What do you want to say? Come on, let's go.
Yo, check it out, my man. First of all, big fan of the show. Much love, much love. Yo, check it out. How come you'll always talk about Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, but you ain't ever talking about the real king of the middleweight division? That's my man, Demetrius Andrade.
Well, because first of all, he hasn't beaten.
Motherfucker's voice is deep, boy.
Yeah, his deep voice. Who is this? Fucking Barry White. Listen, he hasn't. Demetrius Andrade hasn't beaten anybody. So yeah, what? Listen, hold on. You're asking me the question. Let me ask you the question back. Why do you think Andrade is the best middleweight in the world?
Yo, let me break it down for you.
Go ahead.
Because I know you're Mexican. You don't have that superior black IQ we've got.
Now wait a minute. Hold on a second. You can say.
That's just the fact. We have them superior genetics and shit. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to be running things in a couple of years. Back like it was in the Atlantis days. You know what I'm saying? And if you play your cards right, you Mexicans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, we all might just take you along for the ride. You know what I'm saying?
How the fuck are you gonna run the world, the country, if you're getting shit-faced at 5 p.m. and talking with that shit-faced voice? I don't get it.
No, I do not know what you are saying.
I don't even understand what you're saying. Okay, go ahead, break it down. Why is Demetrius Andrade the best fighter in the world? Come on, you said you were gonna break it down.
Demetrius Andrade is the best because he got the hand speed advantage, he got the youth advantage, and he got the blackness advantage. And you can't walk down to the gym or buy that in a tanning salon, you know what I'm saying?
Well, what about that guy?
Just hang up.
Nah, I don't know what you're saying.
Who the fuck
hang
is
up,
this guy?
hang up on this white boy.
I
Yeah, I'm
love
hanging up.
taters.
Yeah.
Andrade. I mean, Andrade. All the years he's been fighting, not once have I looked at Andrade and thought, "Yeah, this man's going to be a dominant champion for years." Not once. It's just as soon as Eddie Hearn got hold of him, of course he started looking good again. Because Eddie knows a fucking bum to feed you. He's the master at it.
That's
He'll
right.
find you a bum. He'll find you a bum in no time, and he'll make you look fucking spectacular doing it. So we only have to look at some fights that, before he signed with Eddie Hearn, the fight with the Cool Kai didn't he fight Marta Rosian as well?
Yeah, that was a close fight.
Yeah, they kicked him off HBO. He signed a
Marlon
3-fight
bashed him
deal.
up.
He
There you
signed
go. So it's just it's the mind blank of boxing fans. They'll see one performance, and because they can't really think back because they're fucking dumbasses, most of them. They can't really think back and connect the dots. They'll just take everything into account. They've seen one performance. This guy's going to beat Golovkin because he's just beat fucking some bum that nobody knows. I mean, just connect the dots. He's fighting chumps at the moment. When he steps up and fights the top guys, then you'll see what Andrade is all about. And I'm telling you now, you're going to be very disappointed.
Well, that's what I was gonna. That's what I was gonna. That's what I was. That's what I was.
You know what
That's
I'm saying? He's the superior black
that's what I was gonna tell this guy if he was serious, which I don't think he was. But I was gonna say Zulensky is a very great barometer to see where. Okay, what the hell is that? Somebody's vaping.
Sorry, that's me.
The fucking guys. Jimmy's vaping
He's doing
during the
pipe.
show.
Yeah, he's doing pipe or something.
He's smoking.
No, that wasn't a hit. That wasn't a hit. That was a blast. That was a blast. That wasn't a hit.
That was a vape. Sorry about that. I thought I was muted.
Jimmy.
I got issues, guys. But
No. Wait a minute. You're a little hard on yourself there, buddy.
Well, I mean, it's got to be in a certain mindset to listen to Sling Blade break down boxing. You know what I mean?
Jimmy, I'm at work right now. What do you think I did a little before I got in here, huh?
Oh,
what do you think happened?
Hey, Jimmy, I that's weed you're putting in that pipe. Nothing else. I don't want you coming on here trying to sell us a fucking cheeseburger for a
And by the way,
I can't wait till I can't wait till I'm able to smoke again. You know, I'm in and out of court and shit.
Oh yeah. You
they test you guys over there when you guys. Yeah, I'm good. I haven't
recognize they're taking my hair follicles and all kind of shit.
Hey,
bro.
It's been over 20 years, Johnny, since I've been arrested.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, you wanna stay out of trouble. Stay out of trouble. You don't wanna.
Johnny, stay out of trouble. Listen to me. I want you to listen to me. Like, pretend I'm talking to you face to face. Listen to me. Look at me.
All right.
Stay out of trouble.
I got you, bro.
You should come to England where 10 people can jump you. You get arrested. They walk free.
Yeah, you can stab somebody, but just don't. You can stab somebody, but don't tweet about it.
I got fucking jumped by fucking 10 guys, man. It was only because I was off my fucking nut. Is why I stayed awake. I was taking shots left, right, and centre. They all backed off. They must have thought I was fucking Triple G chin because they was all shut. I was still standing. Next minute, I'm thinking someone's grabbed me up. I think, oh, someone's come to the rescue. No, they've come to arrest me. I'm the one that gets arrested.
Hey, bro, check it.
Only in Cookland. I mean, don't even call it England no more. Call it Cookland. That's what it is. I mean, these fucking marks. This fucking.
John Boy, just don't put bacon outside of mosque.
Ruin the police force.
You have a less than 20% conviction rate on homicides right now in London. That's horrendous. Never mind. Then you get arrested for sending. Yeah, you can get arrested for sending a bad tweet, but you could stab the fuck out of somebody and get away with it.
When I was
Hold up, bro. I was gonna say, yeah. I got fucking like 9 arrests under my belt, so don't break my balls, huh? I got fucking all kinds of shit. I was on probation because I beat the shit out of somebody last summer, and then I got a fucking DUI on my birthday. So cut me some slack, huh? All right.
Stay out of trouble.
Yo, Jimmy, you can get arrested for.
Hey, hang on a minute, apology.
Go ahead.
I got interrupted. I was going to say about the police force in the UK. Right, when I was a kid, right, you grew up, right, coppers used to walk the street and they'd be like 6'2", big athletic men, usually ex-rugby players or something like that. And you saw them, and when they told you, something, you fucking listened. But when you see the cops walking around England today, man, like 4'2"
Little pussies.
built like a matchstick. Do you know
Yo,
what I mean?
Stu.
Got about as much machismo as fucking Rick Moranis, and
Oh,
and
come
and the
on.
courage of the lion.
Come
And
on.
the courage of the lion from the Wizard of Oz, man. Get out of here!
Yeah,
I'll put
Stu.
fucking pussy on.
Some of them,
I watched
some of them are
it.
fat as well.
Fuck's
Wait,
sake.
let's do finish. Let's do finish. Go ahead, Stu.
Jesus Christ, man.
Go ahead, Stu.
I watched a video the other day. This fucking big black dude. They were trying to take him down. They were hanging onto him like hyenas onto a fucking elephant. There was about 50 of them. They still couldn't move the guy. I mean, what? In America, man, that guy would have been fucking. Oh no, he'd have been face down on the camera with a bullet in his fucking neck. Do you know what I mean?
They would have shot his ass. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just watching one guy throw the police around, and then there's a woman gets involved. She gets a slap and then starts crying. This is the police force. Oh, come on, man.
They don't carry tasers?
They don't carry anything.
They carry tasers?
Hey, half of them ain't got the guts to use it because they're scared of the vibration when they press the button.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yo, you should have seen. You should have seen the little fucker that arrested me. He was about 5'4", and I hocked a loogie at him, and I told him to go fuck his mother. So, man.
Yo, Stu, some of them are fat as well. Like, I was in Burger King once, and this guy, Jesus, couldn't fit through the fucking door.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
wait a minute.
You know, Stu, it's happening in New York. Well, in America, period. It's happening here too. Like the cops that Giuliani, like in the 90s, he had to clean up New York. These motherfuckers were like, they were big, and there was like, you could tell there was like no gay guy. There's no, look. Right. It's just like these dudes are far from gay, and if they are gay, they're rapists, right? They're like dudes that just they're savages. They fuck.
Big tough guys from the army, innit? Big tough guys from the army.
Yeah, that's what they look like. Tough guys from the army. Exactly.
I went to McDonald's the other day. There's a load of cops because always in fucking McDonald's. Never got time to sort the stabbings out because they're eating cheeseburgers in McDonald's. But I went in there, right, and I looked, and I thought it was a fucking a tribute act for the fucking village people. I mean, they all look like benders. You know what I mean? I thought, what the fuck is these lot going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've knocked these guys out myself. I mean, today, because any sort of alpha male now, he's a target, especially a white alpha male. I mean, we're targets for also. It just that it's not political correct enough, and they've got to, it's basically they've got to fill the numbers. Sort of, we need a couple of gays, we need a lesbian in there, we need your token Asian man and your token black guys, that sort of thing. And it's become not picking the right man for the job, just picking it.
Well, it was just in the news. It was just in the news. The London Police Department, they were hiring, and they actually specified that they prefer non-whites to apply.
Oh, come on.
It's insane. Like, dude, I was watching this documentary about Sweden. Dude, did you know Sweden had 900 no-go zones?
900 no-go zones.
There's an actual video of
Sweden's the new caliphate. It's the European caliphate.
Stu, this is the new thing. Let's say you're in one of those no-go zones, and you're in the border of that, and you ask the cops for help. You know what they're gonna tell you? Because this is on video. Yeah, we'll help you out here, but not in there.
Hey, this is what happens when you let.
This is
what happens when you let fucking middle class toffee-nosed pricks run your nation. They're little snowflakes. They've been brainwashed by these Marxist professors who, most of them, let's be real, just look at them, paedophile written all over their face. I mean, most of them are paedophiles, unwashed paedophiles at that. I mean, they're just disgusting individuals. I was sick to my stomach the day my daughter told me she was going to university, because I thought she was going to come back like fucking Janis Joplin with a fucking flower in her hair. I just, I just didn't want, and my daughter's like me. She's right side of politics, and that don't mean I'm far right, because I'm far from that. I'm against all that, but I'm right side of politics. I'm a conservative, and she's like me. So thankfully, she didn't come back like that. But I've seen the damage caused by the universities, especially in the UK and America. You've only got to look at Berkeley. I mean, there's not a fucking brain cell in the place. I mean, snow everywhere through the snowflakes. I mean, it's one of the hottest places in America, yet there's snow everywhere at Berkeley. I mean,
even Oxford is
Donald
gotten bad.
Donald Trump, I'd fly one of those fucking super jets the Americans have, and I'd go and drop a few bombs on them universities. Obviously, when they're empty, I'm not that cruel, but I'd blow them all to the ground, mate. They're not worth a fucking toss.
Yo, Precise just linked some Swedish children's book in the chat. You guys should read it. It's something else, man.
It's a
Gotcha.
perfect. You take pathetically altruistic people, and that's what happens. And then you hand your country because a different mindset. They think they're actually at the train stations with flowers, kissing these fucking migrants coming off the train, and they're lying and looking. I'm like, oh my god, this is easy pickings. I mean, it's just fucking.
What happens, Jimmy? What happens when you let somebody to your house? You let them in your house as a guest, and you let them talk to you like they're you. What happens?
It's just, look, it's history. History
in your
repeats
house,
itself.
in your house, what would happen if you start letting people talk to you
They're
like
gonna take over. They're gonna try to take over.
Of
Yeah,
course,
they're gonna try.
that's what's going on here. Is that they've been cut so bad
Well,
by
okay.
political correctness. It's like this is what happens.
But when you bring in, listen, sub-Saharan Africans, I'm not even trying to be a jerk. I'm just saying how it is. That's the sub-Saharan Africa is the lowest combined average IQ on the planet. It hovers around 72, which is functionally retarded. Now that's just how it is. No, I'm just saying if you look up in the guide, that's the wording they still use because it's the old medical, right? So functionally retarded. So you're bringing in a bunch of people from a blood-soaked, fucking cruel rape culture into your fucking land of these people who don't think like that and think they're going to assimilate. And then the other people are bringing in Muslims, and this is how it is. If you're a serious Muslim and you follow the Quran to the T, you can't assimilate because remember, you follow the Quran is the true politics. There's none of that other shit. So, and then you look out throughout history. Nowhere, you name me right now the place that the Muslims have moved en masse and have not either attempted or did take over.
Well,
name one.
They don't.
Well, you know
there's
what?
not one.
It's
they don't
interesting.
assimilate. You're supposed to assimilate to them, and that
Yeah,
is like,
exactly.
look,
That's
look,
their
right?
teachings.
I'm gonna
Make
give
the
you-
world Islam by the sword. It's right in the Quran.
Can I just say something? Hold on. Let me
ahead.
just say something. Let me just say something real quick because we do have to go. Not, we're getting away from the boxing, and I unfortunately I would love to stay here some more, but we do have to leave. But one thing about the Muslims, I sent Bucho a link. I want to watch these videos, everybody together, the way we did it with the rabbit thing. But unfortunately, at this point, the video we did for rabbit when we were watching Gamboa and all that, it ain't gonna happen because there's some copyright issues regarding Top Rank. They're very stringent about their property. So, but I want to do one because on another subject, which was there's this Christian pastor in Canada, Toronto to be more specific, and what he does is he goes onto the street right in the middle of like the Toronto's Times Square, let's say, and he has a microphone and a a speaker, and he just starts preaching. And there's always people that come in, atheists, and they go, shut up, because he says controversial shit. Like he says he's he's not pro-gay, blah, blah, blah. So people come up to him. But there's always in every video, there's a Muslim that comes up to him. And they can't stand somebody else. I mean, I'm not speaking for all Muslims, but you start to see a pattern after a certain point. Every video, it's a Muslim goes up to him. A Muslim goes up to him. They all try to, challenge him on the book. And I'm thinking, at the end of the day, it's the same shit. But it's almost like somebody in the comments.
My God's tougher than your God.
Exactly. Somebody made a good point in the comment section. They said, "How come, they always need Islam in other countries?" Like,
dude.
Because that's their point to take over.
Jim,
Make the world Islam from the
But
fucking sea
why?
to sea. That's
Why?
what they say it all the time.
But why? What's so great about? Listen, there's nothing great
Because
about any one religion.
they're communist in their approach, bro.
Well, you know what?
You either get down or lay down. You
Yo.
understand what that means?
I think
right?
Johnny Boy's trying to say something.
Yo, I was just gonna say, the fact that there's even something called pro-gay just makes me fucking lose faith in humanity. Like even for the fact that there's even something called pro-gay. Go fuck, get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
Well, listen,
If I wanna
hold on.
fuck.
Let me just say something.
Yeah.
Michael Stott, I know he's a Muslim. He says you can say the same thing for the Catholics. That was my point. But you don't see the Catholics all the time. They used to do that. They did take over a lot of parts of the world. But now it's over. You can write the Catholics and the Christians off. Nobody wants them.
When's the last time? And I'm not defending the Christians, right? But when's the last time a Christian organization strapped on suicide bombs and ran into a place on another person's holiday and yelled, "This is for you, Jesus!" Kaboom! Okay, since 9/11, tens of thousands of people have been slaughtered in the name of Allah. When's the last time someone's been slaughtered in the name of Jesus? And just for that reason, I'm not talking about Christian part, but when people conflate that, come on, yes, I'm not. Let's not bring up shit what happened back when fucking people still thought the world was flat. I'm talking today. You know, and that's what's going on today. I'm not a religious person, but I know that's the one religion setting off suicide vests and blowing fucking planes into towers.
Well, on that
Listen,
note,
there's great Muslims. They don't want you. They don't want to take over your country. They just probably left their country because
One of my best friends is Muslim. One of my best friends is Muslim. He's just secular.
Is that when you radicalize a group and you give them like a free pass to do shit, they're gonna do it.
Exactly.
They're going to do it. That's how it goes. Look, man, this is what I'll say. As soon as you let people come into your backyard and talk to you like you're you, they're gonna take over.
Well, that's why I just to say I believe in the reform. The first part of the Quran, when they talk about Muhammad before he was a warlord, that's all the best part of the Quran. It preaches everything great. It's after the warlord and all that horrible shit. They need to get out of it because that's the part. Listen, the most important thing to note right now, the highest ranking clergyman in the Muslim religion said they couldn't call ISIS heretics because they didn't actually break any rules of the Quran. Keep that in mind. That's like the Pope's giving them a pass.
Let me just say this because we gotta go. But I give a shout out to Revolucion who says, "Make the world bomb squad by the sword," says the Quran. First of all, I don't think that's an actual passage. I don't think that's an actual passage from the Quran.
Squad.
yeah, I don't think that's an actual passage. Shout out to Revolucion. And I will say this: the problem isn't necessarily the religions, because I've read 3 of those, the Judaic scriptures, not all of them. I mean, all the way through. I'm still working on that. And you read about history. The problem isn't the necessarily the religion itself. It's the people. All right, it's the people who use the religion as a tool. I've said it before, and I'll continue saying it again. So that's just my note to end this on, so nobody thinks we're disparaging their specific religion.
Exactly, man. No, nobody's disparaging. Just think about it in a criminal element form. Just a criminal element form. You let people hang out on your block and talk to you like they're you. Next thing you know, they're taking over your block. They're beating the shit out of you, and you can't go back no more.
Well, you know what? Amok in the chat room says the people cop out. Well, yeah, you're right. It's the actual Bible and the Quran. They're the ones that are going out there chopping people up and making them explode. Get the fuck out of here. It's the people. It's like the guns themselves.
Of course it is. It's always the people. It's always the people. It's the people.
Yeah. What do you think? It's the book closing itself on your head and making it explode?
Yeah.
Get out of here, man. Come on.
The words are seeping into your head and they're saying, do it.
Exactly.
Because there are beautiful passages in the Quran. There really are. There's some fucking... It's just the people who take... You know what it is? It's the people who are vicious in their heart and they're looking for an idolized reason to rape and trade your seedy women. Don't even get me. I really know a lot about ISIS. There's some horrible motherfuckers.
Yeah.
If you know criminal behavior and you just look at it from that form, you can always combat it. Criminals, hardcore criminals, hate somebody who attacks them with the same aggression. When you attack them with the same aggression and you let them know that you're gonna die very nasty if I get my hands on you, they start backing off. That's it. That's how you handle that. Stop that PR shit. No, I'm not like that. Are
most of you guys Christians?
Yes, I was raised in a.
All right.
Just
keep this in mind. Keep this in mind. In the last 15 years, Christianity has all been about wiped out in the Middle East. They don't talk about it in the news, but all but wiped out in like 7 countries in the last 15 years.
Because human beings do awful things, Jimmy. You know, they do awful things.
But it's just not talked about. And but now, if that was because right now, for whatever reason, the left, you see what Linda saw, they've taken up the banner of, and the fact, and they'd be all over it. It just really sucks that all of a sudden now you don't hear about that. You don't hear about I don't want to get into it. But anyways, guys, have a great day. Mucho, thank you.
Jimmy.
BDA, thank you.
Absolutely.
Peace, Jimmy.
Thank you for
Peace,
being on,
gentlemen.
Thank you, everybody, for being on. We do have to cut the conversation short. People have been saying, I was over at Del Boy's stream the other day, and he asked when are we going to do another second Renaissance. We're certainly going to take care of that this week, because as you can see, there's a lot to talk about out there in the world. And again, I just want to reiterate, we're not against any one set of people. It's just like I said, it's the people. It's not the religion, it's the people, and it's not a cop
That's
out.
right.
It's not a cop out. It's the
You
truth.
follow your own thoughts and stuff. Like don't be use critical thinking in
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
You know?
Read the Bible, read the Quran, read the Talmud, read the fucking Dead Sea Scrolls, read the Book of Enoch, read all of it, and then you make your own mind. But if you believe,
don't follow the herd.
I accept that these people can read these books and believe in them. They have every right to, live their life how they want to with religion. But don't force that shit on me with aggression.
That's
arrogance.
right. That's
I mean,
right.
religious people are the most arrogant people in the world. But when you actually sit down and speak to them, half of them are the most fucking stupid bastards. Most of them.
well, you know what? We can talk about that. We can talk about that on.
Praise sort of thing.
Oh shit! Yeah, we can talk about that in the second Renaissance because I actually think that the atheists are the new religion because they believe in nothing, and that's a religion in and of itself. And they're pretty acidic in their tone and attitude, and in the general way they behave towards other people. So we can talk about that in another podcast. But anyway, listen, guys, thank you for joining us. It was a fantastic podcast. We got a lot covered, a lot of great phone calls.
It was good, man. It was good. I want to do that second Renaissance for sure, man.
Absolutely.
Definitely want to do that.
Absolutely.
Talk about how criminal behavior belongs and how it relates to everything. And I think that's going to be a good topic to talk about too.
That's a good point.
With religion.
That's a good point. All right. So let's see.
Peace.
I want to give a shout out to thanks for everybody that was here. I'm talking about Recognize Stu, Apology, Pete was here as well. Who else was here? Precise, Johnny Boy, Johnny, Butcher was here, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing somebody. Who am I fucking missing? Who did I forget to call or mention? Anyway, I'll remember. I want to give a shout out to Serge George Lopez George. I want to give a shout out to Revolucion as well. All the great callers as well. And I want to give a shout out to who's here in the chat room. Who was in the chat room? Magic Man, Revolucion, Koran Bread, Ray, Shepherd of Sons, Triple JJ, Koran Bread, Official Scorecard Boxing, Black Lomachenko, Gorgura, Malik Osman, Poo Dude, BC, Apology was in there as well, Timon Shpud, Shepherd of Sons, Gypsy Boxing Style, aka Boxing Style, you gotta come back soon, Don Hearn, and everybody else, you know who you guys are, Loma King, Logan Wolf, Michael Stott, BFTB Boxing, Transnational, Black Backmaster. So thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Don't be a stranger. Don't forget to call in the next time. Don't forget to call in. Give us a shout out. Give us a thumbs up. Check us out on Twitter. Download the episodes on iTunes and Spreaker. And we'll see you on the next one, folks. Take it easy.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it, asshole?
Don't be afraid. She's just an asshole.
What are you going to do about it, asshole? What are you going to do about it, asshole?